Avast and ahoy once again to ye mateys! I be Josh the Pirate, and it brings me a small backpack covered in unicorn stickers full of glee to welcome ye once again to the Humblewood. I wanted to get that right because I was happy with it. Above me I have me hearty crew, the praiseworthy Rachel Foucar, the preeminent Dan Suelto, and the pivotal AJ Winters. And behind the scenes today we have me, as the gelatinous goober himself is still unwell. Hearts in chat for Serum, and also to our poised and poignant friend Mitch, who is in a bit of a rough place. I won't go into it, but hearts in chat for Serum and Mitch. We must also shout out our phenomenal artist Breepie, whose artwork you can see on the screen right now, and the Deck of Many, who are the minds behind this particular setting. And important to note, Woot and Forge back on board as our sponsors for another season. They design and manufacture high-quality wooden tabletop gaming products using beautiful Australian and exotic hardwoods. They are local to WA. They even do custom orders, and some of their stuff looks like that. How gorgeous is that? Now, we have a new product alert. After so much love for the dice trays, like what you can see up on screen, they've decided to release them as a Christmas bundle, as a thank you. So you can now get a dice tray and an adventurous chest combo as a gift for yourself or a fellow player. The chest fits perfectly into the smaller side of the dice tray, which is pretty cool, and you can get them in matching wood with matching leather inlays of either obsidian, Bordeaux, or night sky. That one there I think is probably a night sky by the looks of it, and the red one is Bordeaux, and it's pretty sexy stuff. I've got one coming for Rhythm in the Mind because it's his birthday today. He doesn't know, don't tell him. Yes, I'm going to Tasmanian Blackwood because that shit is pretty. Also, when you're at the checkout, make sure to use code HUMBLE2 to combine those awesome deals together and get some really sweet stuff at a good discount. So, check that shit out at wootenforge.com. Now, guys, who the heck are we? AJ, who the heck are you?
Hi. Are we starting with me today?
Yeah,
sure.
Why not? Fuck it.
I'm AJ Winters. I'm a creative person that plays D&D on the internet. You can find me over at Winter's Tales, my YouTube channel, where I make weekly, not saying what day it is, weekly world building videos where I am building a world one step at a time that I'm going to host and DM a game in next year. I'm very pumped. And also, as a thank you for getting over 200 subscribers, I will be hosting an event on Twitch, my very first Twitch event, a little get together. So if you guys want to join me, that will be on Sunday the 28th, I want to say, of November. So in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
Tonight I am Jude Littlefoot.
That is true. You are.
Yes.
I would love it if that was Jude's voice.
Reporting live.
Am I louder now? I've turned myself up a little bit. Am I a bit better now? And Dan, tell me about yourself. Who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Dan. I am D-Rab in Twitch chat. Aside from that, you can find me on Discord. Really, come hang out because I am practically invisible in the cyberspace because I am a meat space lad. And just find me here on Humblewood because I'm a yeehaw wizard man. And Wednesday sometimes all over the place between here because there's a one shot this coming Wednesday and on Corsair's Cove. Yeah, in the next Wednesday after that for some Avatar stab.
What one shot is this week?
Jack is running a game with D-Rab,
cool.
Nikolai, Shrogril, and Doom Donkey.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. Jack is a new DM. Jack has come and played in a one-shot that I ran a while back. But that was the Aussie one-shot with the dragon that they met. Yeah. He is a professional DM, so it's exciting to see him coming in to do that with us. Rach, who the heck are you?
Hello, my name is Rachel Foucar. I'm a writer, actor, and creative trash at large. You can find me on the internet at Rachel Foucar on various social media platforms. And you can find my book that I wrote, The Rings of Mars, right here on the internet. And if you don't buy it, I will command my army of pigeons to poop all over your car, bicycle, or vehicle of choice. And if you don't like books, but you do like stories, I'm also in a fringe show next year called The B-Plot Girls, which has tickets on sale now. So buy stuff.
Yeah, it does. And I be Josh the Pirate. Yeah. I DM the Humblewood here on Monday nights on Roll for Damage, but you know that because you're here. Good job, well done, keep doing it. Otherwise, if you want more Humblewood stuff, come over to my channel, Corsair's Cove, on Thursday nights, where you can find me DMing more Humblewood. And occasionally on Wednesdays, because I like to run one-shots in the same world that makes it all contiguous and fucking confusing. If you like more beyond that, then you could find me in Fringe as well, in Paparotica. Tickets are on sale now. We will be on the first 2 weeks of Fringe. It's very exciting. They've given us a bigger venue than last year and told us to sell tickets for it. Otherwise, they'll be cross with us. They didn't really say that. They were very nice about it. If you want more of my voice, but you think the face could go away from here, really, then you can check out my podcast, There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scared Felspar. Wow. Was that you just slapping my face away? Just like, nope, this face, fuck off.
Well, you changed up what you said.
I know, I wanted it to
Change up the
make...
action.
Yeah.
It became like an annoying fly. Get out of here.
My face is wafting around you. Get out of here, Josh's face. Keep the voice, though. That's nice. All right. Very odd. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I must also remind our recondite, Vorpal, and possibly even Terpsichorean audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things. We have all the socials, and you can catch up with episodes you miss on YouTube. It's also worthy to note the Spellfire bar down the bottom of the screen, which fills up with any bits, tips, and donations you make. Any subs, good to fill it up, and when it gets full, we roll on the deck of Many's harrowing deck, and we love it when that happens. Alright, I think it would just be jolly for someone to stop and talk off into the void for a few moments, and I believe it's Benneck's turn.
It's true. It is my turn. Hello, Void. It is me again. It's been a while, but I'll try and make this quick, and I'm certainly not prepared for this. Hold on, here we go. All right, we arrived. Thank you. You're such a good listener. Anyway, we arrived in the Plane of Fire with slightly off landing zones. Trish was safe next to my sand-locked body, and Nevermore fell from the sky, but at least he's got wings. Jude was nowhere near to be seen at first, except through Nevermore's eye of convenience and power, which led us to this caravan, and catching up to said caravan, sending the message vibes. I got through to Jude, and lo and behold, I learned that she's in a cage because of being tricked by slavers. So good news so far. Tricked. In this, look, Void, hear me out. We caught up, haggling for her release, Nevermore style, and also learned that we needed somebody to vouch for our entry into the city of molten glass, because that's how the law works in the Plane of Fire, I guess. Stuff to learn. All for the low price of 200 gold pieces, which is glad that we have Nevermore for that, and he did agree to it. But look, there's slavers, and that's a little bit bullshit. So I'm glad Jude, what she did best after, she got out of the cage and then just started to hack everybody. And Trish wasn't about to be outdone, so she basically attempted to outshine the whole Plane of Fire by being so angry that her new weapon was also on fire. And I felt really out of my depth, to be honest, and that's okay, because they just kind of did everything, and we rescued everyone, and the slavers is very dead and very crunchy, which is unexpected, to be honest. Especially in this kind of environment. I thought it'd be like a hard shell, but anyway, you don't need to know the details. And the slave, we're going to attempt now to have, I guess no one really knows each other well, that I forgot her name, Fatima. I wrote it down. Fatima is going to get us the vouchery. Yeah, look, been a long day. The city of molten glass. And I don't think we've told them our reasons there. And I hope that we don't drag more people into our problems because, boy, is it complicated already. That's it.
This is true and accurate. Yes. Well, thank you very much, Dan. Okay. Well, mateys, may friendly merchants help you on your travels, and all your melee opponents lack fire immunity, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. So, where we left off, the party had just defeated a very nice and charming merchant, who unfortunately was in the business of selling people, killed him, and are now preparing to try and enter the city of molten glass, pretending to be guards for Fatima, a slave that they have freed, and who is going to pretend to be the owner of the caravan. What do you do? Go.
What do guards in the plane of fire act like, Fatima?
Well, you saw them. They normally stoic, quiet.
Easy to
But-
kill.
Well,
Assholes.
perhaps-
Yeah, we get it.
perhaps for you, I would suggest that you let me do the talking. But you would not be guards in the normal sense. You don't look like any guards that would be used here. You would have to be slave guards, yes? Slave guards would not talk. But it actually might help to the act, if you will, if one of you did talk, that I could then slap you, if that is okay.
Oh, good.
Dibs not. Dibs not.
Now,
You
I
guys
am-
have
I am
Yeah,
not strong.
dibs here?
Yes.
It is simply,
Nevermore.
I just would. You don't have to. It is fine. I am sure I can get you
I can
in
do it.
without.
If you really need somebody to talk and just slap, I can do it.
Then perhaps you should sit next to me on the front cart, and your friends drive the rear ones.
okay,
sounds good.
how do we do that?
I low-key kind of regret doing this now, but I'm committed.
It's so the control system looks similar to any cart you've seen before. Jude may never have driven a cart before, but Nevermore and Trish probably know at least vaguely how.
Mhm.
And Nevermore says, "Don't worry, Jude. I'll drive the cart. You can sit next to me and tell me where to go. How about that?"
Okay. That was scarily accurate.
Thank you.
It was
Right?
good.
It was like scarily just Nevermore.
Don't expect too much of it.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it,
Trish,
Josh.
Trisha, do you want to take the back one or the middle one?
The back one, I think.
Trish likes it in the back, everyone. All right.
Trish is an adventurer. She tries everything.
she's open to new
She tries
experiences.
everything. Oh my lord. True.
Oh no.
Law done.
That's out
Canon.
there
It
now.
is canon
Rachel,
now.
that's out there now.
Favorite moment already.
She likes the juice. What can we say? She's a girl who juices.
Don't know how
Um,
much space is in the back.
Well, if you have it, like you need it. All right. Anyway.
God, stop.
So yeah, Fatima would say, perhaps grab the weapons from the guards, and anybody who would like to can roll a perception check.
Hell yeah. I love to perceive.
Percepticon.
Perception.
Perception.
Ooh.
Oh,
What is
great.
it to the
Boy.
tune of
Please.
Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Two very perceptive people, and Jude.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Roll 20 open. Give me a second.
It's probably alright. The other two have critically succeeded in one instance and beaten that.
No, I'm
in
still
the
going
other.
to do it.
very well. Yeah, both of you would notice that she goes over to Kahil's body and takes his weapon belt, which she straps around her own hips, and with both the scimitar, which she sheaths, and the barbed lash, which she puts on her other hip. And Jude also would. I love that Benneck crit succeeded and you both beat him.
I am not wise. I'm sorry.
No, it's impressive.
We just got encountered by slavers. We're on high alert. Everything is perceived at this point.
So yeah, what you all notice is that she robs him. She goes through his pockets and takes like everything of value on his body, and then she spits on it and drags it off into the dunes.
As she should.
You also notice her pick up the wand that Kahil used to threaten the giant stone elementals. And she pockets it. She says, perhaps you could, they may search the carts. Perhaps we should... And then she looks back at the city and says, no, I think perhaps we should put them in the carts. Too many bodies out here and they will be curious. We should hide them in the carts.
I start lifting bodies 2 at a time.
There's only like 5 or 6 left, so because the elemental, the Lahabs don't leave bodies. So Jude hoiks 2 massive like guys who are like twice her size on one on each shoulder, and then dumps them in. Where do you put them, Jude?
In the cage? In the carts?
There are 3 carts. Only one of them is a slave cart. The other 2 have normal goods.
Oh.
My question is, do you put them in the slave cage or not?
Yeah. And I'm gonna like clean them up and like make them look like they're sleeping.
Sure.
Rest one dead body's head onto one of the other shoulders and like force their cheeks to smile.
Very well, Jude. I think this is
not a heal though, right? Because I
would be
definitely
survival check. I think.
I definitely butchered that man.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah. Oh no, Spina's clipped that.
Survival 16.
Yeah. You managed to position them to make them look like they're 3 of them are just sleeping.
It's an art form. Jude got really creative.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got like one of them has got their head tied to the ceiling with a rope, so they're nodding.
Nice.
Fatima says the Lahab will ride with them, and the 2 green fire, like the 2 green humanoids that are like fiery humanoids that are green flames, and get back into the slave cart. She says, and as she closes it, she says, I promise I will let you out when we get there. She turns and says, they are a long way from home and very scared. We don't get many around here. I don't know where Kahil got them from. You hop on board. Trish drives the rear cart, Nevermore drives the middle with Jude sitting next, and Benneck sits next to Fatima as she drives the front one. Do you do anything else? Do you want to grab anything else? Do you specifically get anything off the bodies of the guards or anything like that?
Do they look like they have anything valuable on them?
You can make an investigation check.
Yeah, why not?
Trish is already doing that, so I'll just let that happen.
We got 18. Trish, you find, if you search all the bodies, you find cumulatively, Spina, could you roll me 1d30 in chat, please? You will find this many of local money.
Nice. I love local currency.
Big money, no whammies, Spina.
Yep. Omi's not around yet, so, Spina, you're up. Cool. And, you... anything else? Benneck? No? Alrighty. Then they have a couple of quite well-made weapons, but nothing as well-made as your fancy fire staff. It does seem 23. You find 23 gold pieces, but it's like gold pieces are gold pieces are gold pieces, but these are clearly not old gold pieces. Like the Humblewood has its own mint that would make currency, but as long as it's the right size and weight, like if it looks suspiciously small, then the merchant would probably weigh it. But as long as it looks around about the right size, any gold is good. This is clearly made here in the Plane of Fire, or at least minted here. And most of the gold pieces have the head of a smiling gentleman with a... like Disney's Jafar.
Nice.
Very narrow chin, squiggly, narrow chin beard with the dangly bit, and very droopy mustachios. Not a carbon copy. He's not wearing a turban or anything like that. But yeah, he's actually got a big grin. It's shown from the side on, and he's looking at the person who's holding the coin and giving them like a cheeky grin. And around it is words you don't understand, but you do recognize the word Gaius. This could well be... It was fair inference to make that this is the guy you're about to rob. And yeah, so you head in. Nice job, Spina. Thank you very much. The gate is guarded by a squad of well-armed and armored Molten people. The race of the name of the race, because you've never asked, is Munsahir. And all of them are decked out in armor made of glittering plates of glass. The guards just you up, and as you near the gates, you can all hear Fatima say, "Clear the way there, I have goods for market." The leader of the guards, a tall Munsahir with a missing nose, like his nose is just not there, looks perhaps, Benneck, you're the only one closest, and you would notice this sort of thing, looks like it got bitten off by something. And he has a helmet plumed with shards of coloured glass along the top. Holds up a hand, he stops the cart. "A new merchant. I recognize the cart, but not the driver. What happened out there?" And he gestures to the spot where you guys all stopped and had an argument for about 10 minutes. Fatima sort of, just sort of gives a small side eye to Benneck, and then says... and she, before you can even really begin, she slaps you across the beak. Says, "How dare you speak without permission, creature? A little disagreement with some of the more unruly slaves. I had to put some down. I pride myself in serving only the best stock. Now, the entry fee is the same as usual?" And the guy watches this whole thing, and sort of, you can see him sort of analyzing. And he says, "After the inspection, it will be. Tell your kings to cooperate and keep their mouth closed." "I understand. As do they." "You are doing your job for the betterment of all. Here is the fee." And she chucks him a large bag of gold. "I anticipate no troubles." Probably most of what she took from Cahill. Mm-hmm. And he catches it, and he re-examines her. You can see him going, like, you can see the cogs turning in his head, and then he smiles. "You are clearly a lady of good breeding and distinction. We shall not offer the insult of a search. Please, enjoy your time in our fair city." He gestures, and the way is cleared. And you enter the city of Molten Glass. Once within the city, you find yourselves in a warren of dusty streets populated by a huge range of creatures. Lahab of various hues, white, yellow, and orange, predominate, though there are some red ones like you saw outside, as well as several other kinds of elementals of varied size and power. Mixed in are more Munshahir. They would seem to be the sort of the race that is in charge of this place, which, Benneck, I think you'd probably be the only one who would be vaguely aware that is unusual. On the plane, on an elemental plane, the elementals normally are in charge. So having a mortal race in charge of even a bit of it is a little odd. For the most part, that is, anyway. Occasionally you witness more esoteric beings. One, a living whirlwind with the features of a lion drifting in it. And a personage, presumably of some importance, you don't actually see the person, being borne on the street, through the streets on a litter composed of ice, which steams continually but never seems to diminish. And everybody gets out of the way, and a couple of its large, burly, like, they look like, your stereotypical ogres, but like ice blue, sort of clear the way, and Fatima pulls the cart aside to let them pass. Doesn't want to have an argument with that person. Yeah, she turns to Benneck and says, "Thank you for your help there. I am sorry if I slapped too hard."
No, that's fine. I was really worried that, I don't know, they were gonna catch on or something, but I'm glad it worked.
I think it helped, as did the bribe.
Yeah.
So now I plan to take this to the market, sell everything other than you guys, and be done with it. I want nothing of Cahil's. Once that is done, what is it you actually want to do here? I heard you say you came to find a friend, but how would he have even gotten in?
Well,
I just keep quiet. And to
Our
the ladies,
friend-
You're driving a different card, I'm afraid, Rach.
I just
Oh,
got a
I'm back here. That's fine.
message to Jude, like, oh no, what do I do? Wait,
What?
give me a second, Fatima. Oh. Fatima's asking what we're doing here.
Just tell her.
Oh, but what if she gets in trouble more?
But we got her out of trouble.
Yeah, but what, like, telling her might get her into more trouble because she knows now.
Say we're sightseeing.
We're sightseeing.
She looks at you like, I mean, I'm not even going to make this a deception check because she knows otherwise. Because Jude has told her otherwise. She says, "You do not have to tell me if you do not wish to. But
It's better that way.
if you tell me, I can help. You are still, your kind here is very unusual. If you are not in the right place, you will be taken by the guards and probably made a slave regardless. You have no rights here. I will happily stay with you as long as you are in the city in gratitude, but I can only help as much as you let me."
You make a good point, but, like, Fatima, you just kind of, like, gotten free, and, I just wanted you to be sure that, what you're meaning, what you're saying, because it's kind of a lot, to be honest.
I appreciate it. I do. Let us see. Perhaps, I mean, this city is new to me as well. I probably cannot be of that much assistance. Though, Ibn says his mother also lives in this city, so perhaps we can find her. And Rach and Jude, Trish and Jude, you can make perception checks. Benneck is not in a position to notice this, but the other two are.
Perception.
Perception.
16.
16 and a 14. Jude, you notice, but you turn around and you're sort of doing your duty, and also, like, you're not driving, so you are a little less, like, involved. You notice that you're driving the cage cart as well, Jude. Ibn got in the cage with the two Lahabs and the corpses, Ibn is not now in the cart. He has disappeared. It was not locked, but it was closed, and it would have been fairly obvious if it got opened. But he's Steam. So yeah, he's gone.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you head on up to the market. And actually, Benneck, you may make a perception check as well, because that was for all of these things. Jude, now that you sort of reach a bustling market square, it is very much lots of produce in wicker baskets, woven reed baskets, and there is on one side there is clearly a slave market. There is a large sort of stage where a Munsahir is taking various beings across and running a bidding war, essentially. It is, but it's a decent distance from you, and Fatima makes a point of not even looking at it. She stops off at it's a caravansary. It's somebody who takes. They are selling animals, livestock, similar to the creatures that are pulling your carts, which are. I heard. I saw last week someone was doing. Someone was calling them banthas, more dewbacks actually. It's the other kind of Tatooine creature, is what I had in my head when I was describing them. So like large crocodiles, but like herbivorous crocodiles with longer legs. And yeah, they are. Somebody is clearly selling them. Fatima takes the carts over to them and starts bidding with them to sell them. Jude, you spot somebody, a baker, basically, and you spot all of the breads seem to be dark browns and blacks, but one is definitely a muffin. Benneck, you got a 14. Perfect. That was the DC for what you overhear. You overhear, as you are standing around waiting for the deal to be done on the carts and their contents, you overhear two guards walking past you. I'm not going to RP the whole conversation back and forth between them, but the basics of it is that there is something they describe as a worm is behaving unusually since returning from the material plane. That these normally servile creatures, this one is being unusually territorial and protective of a piece of land to the northeast.
Oh.
And the other one responds, yes, Gaius is considering sending someone to investigate, because anything a worm would guard is probably worth having. And I want to be clear, the pronunciation, the spelling of worm in this instance is WRYM.
Yeah.
Trish did not get it. So Trish, you are doing a scout around the carts when you feel someone grab your arm and pull you into a small alleyway. And Trish, you find yourself face to face with a hooded figure. Well, face to hood with a hooded figure who says, "Shh, I am not here." In fact, it is more stuttery than that. It's, "I'm not here to hurt you, friend."
Oh, okay. Who are you? Why are you here?
My son says he knows you.
Son.
Eben.
Oh, yeah, we met the little steam guy.
He says you saved him.
Well, we tried, I guess. Yeah, I guess we did.
And
I mean, he probably could have gotten out of that cage, but sure.
But the one keeping him in the cage would not have let him. The cage was
True.
not the only barrier. I know a sister of yours. She helped me. Her name.
You know Cash. Oh, how do you know Cash?
She and her friends. Not here. Bring your friends. Follow. I have safe place.
Okay, I'll go get them. I'll be right back.
Trish, you can make a perception check if you like to see what, now you're face to face with this person, like you can determine certain things about their appearance.
I would love to.
Yeah, you can make out beneath the hood. It's pretty surprising. Like, this person is, you can see the hand that grabbed you is made of fire. You would expect a hood to not really be able to disguise the features of somebody who is made of fire, but it does obscure a good portion of it. However, this person has a stunning resemblance to a birdfolk, but they are flaming.
Huh.
In fact, it looks not unlike the flame specter you guys met in the Scorched Grove that was trying to put flowers on a grave. Looks not dissimilar. Whether or not it's the same sort of thing, you would not know. But it looks a bit like that. Yeah, you grab the others and go?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to steal the muffin.
Ooh, steal the muffin. Jude, make a sleight of hand.
This is probably a terrible idea.
Why have you done this?
You have local money.
Yeah, but I'm
When-
like a foreigner and
Sure.
you got told not to speak.
That's true.
Oh, I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. A 10.
Ooh, Nelderberry, can you roll me a d20 in chat, please?
Roll low, Nelderberry. Roll low.
Oh no, you might want to roll high for this. 12. Yeah, just enough. Just before you go to do that, Fatima grabs you, Jude, by an ear.
By an ear.
By one of your ears and pulls you back and says, "No!" and slaps you very gently across the face. But she pulls the punch. She says, "You must ask, creature. Back to the cart." My apologies, because the person who saw it, the owner of the stall saw it and was about to say "hangs off you" thing, and she says, "My apologies." Takes out 2 gold pieces, puts them down, and says, "I would like to try the muffin though." And he very graciously gives her the muffin, and it's clearly a bribe to, don't, let's make a thing of this. Can I have that muffin? I will happily pay 2 gold pieces for it. She shoos you away and then gives you the muffin when the guy isn't looking. She says, "I'm sorry. The price for theft here is losing one's hands."
Oh.
I would have bought it if you had asked.
Everyone just seemed busy and it looked really good. I'm sorry.
That is okay. Ah, your friend is gesturing.
Huh? Oh, Trish!
Come. Yeah, she gestures, she ushers you and the 2 Lachab to follow Trish. And Benneck, I presume you go with?
Yes.
That's the worst excuse for thievery. Everyone was busy. I stole it. Yeah. You follow. Jude, do you eat the muffin?
Not yet.
It's gonna be in the muffin bag. You're gonna have like a trophy collection of
I
like.
just
Yeah.
want to. Can I feel it? Is it gonna like melt the other muffin? Is it like a very hot?
It's very warm. It feels like fresh from the oven.
Okay. I
But
put
it
it in
does-
my muffin bag.
Yeah.
No, Josh, no. Don't destroy my muffins.
BP's BP's here. BP's here. Can you roll me a D2? Highs or lows, Jude?
Lows.
Okay. D2. Exclamation mark roll space 2 in chat, please. Hey. Cool. Yeah. You do that, and nothing bad seems to happen.
Okay. Thank you,
BP's here.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get you follow along behind this cloaked figure who leads you at a slight distance. The figure waits until you gather the others and then leads you down a series of passages and narrow streets in the general direction of the glass spire. Now that you're actually in the city, it's huge. It is probably, like, it's hard to even guess how tall, but I'm telling you, at least a mile high.
Oh my god.
Can everybody roll me, please? The three of you roll a D100.
Ooh.
So I don't like that.
D100.
Twitch 21,
Fuck.
13, and a 45. Wow. Okay, Benneck, can you make me a dex save, please?
Oh yay! I
You don't
love
get
it.
like the thingies,
So,
that's cool.
none of you rolled particularly high on your perception checks, but while you were in the market, you probably would have seen but not realized the importance
Can I use
of.
my inspiration?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
The DM one? Is that
Yeah.
a reroll?
It's
Oh,
it,
thank
it will
God.
give you advantage. 21. Sure. Right. I'm gonna just roll it real dice because I have too many screens up. Hey, Benneck, you take 2 fire damage as something falls from the sky and just clips your shoulder, and you dodge and it just sort of runs a score down your arm, and you can see the flesh has been badly scorched. And this little narrow channel is you're barely injured. You're not bleeding. It's just sort of more like the feathers are just sort of singed on that bit.
Okay.
And on the ground is a small bead. It's probably about the size of a marble. Perfectly round glass bead. In the market, you might have noticed 1 or 2 of these falling and hitting the ground, and basically what you would have noticed, because none of you roll particularly high, is just random puffs from the ground of little dust puffs coming up, and not thought anything of it. But yeah, Benneck, there is a glass bead on the floor that narrowly missed you and singed your feathers a bit, and Fatima says, "Oh, you're so lucky. You must take that." You reach down, and it is clearly molten, but it's not hot to you. It feels perfectly cool to the touch. But if you squeeze it, it's molten. It's liquid, but it's a sort of a solid liquid. Sounds stupid, but yeah, it regains its form as soon as you stop applying pressure to it.
I try and apply pressure with my beak to it.
You can squeeze it to probably half its width, and it expands perfectly sideways outwards. And she says, "Be careful with that, but it is a sign of very good luck to be struck by one. If it does not kill you, it is lucky. The tower spews them out."
Oh, is that what we saw earlier?
Yes, it is raining molten glass. Just a small amount, and
But
most people
doesn't it-
here are immune to the damage.
Wait, but doesn't it? Surely a lot of folk are getting hit by these.
Surprisingly, no. You would think, but it is very rare to be hit.
Oh.
It is like they only fall not on people. Yeah, Jude, nothing drops on you, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What does it? Do I just What does it do? Does it do anything? It's squishy and I don't know. Is my soul in it now? Did it take a piece? I'm not
No,
sure.
no. It is just a good luck charm. On your home plane, perhaps it would be more useful. Here, everything is hot.
Okay.
Benneck, you can make an Arcana check if you like
Yes, please.
on the thing you're holding.
Yeah. Fuck. It hit me.
Yeah. You can't. It's clearly magical. You can't determine anything about it, though. You feel like you ought to be able to. And anybody who is looking at it, I would allow Trish or Jude, if they got close to it, to have a look as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look.
I mean, I'll show them, but I'm not actively being like, look at me. Look at this thing.
Trish, you get just close enough to feel the intense heat radiating off the thing. Your hand gets no closer than a foot, but you're like, oh wow, that's super hot. It glows faintly. It's that hot.
Wow.
It is otherwise molten glass. It is just doesn't hurt Benneck, but you feel like it would hurt you.
Yeah.
And Fatima would say, don't touch it. Only the one who it hit is able to hold it.
What?
Only the person who it touches is the one who is allowed to hold it. That is part of why it is lucky to you. And leaving them lying on the floor would be very the ones that hit the ground without hurting somebody, cool. The ones that hit somebody don't, cool. So leaving it on the ground would be hazardous, which is why it is a good idea to take them.
Oh.
You don't want some kid treading on it.
Do you guys mind if we stop for like 5 minutes? I just want to do something.
The figure is like beckoning you on, but the figure is sort of looking at you like, why have you stopped? But Fatima says, what is it you wish to do?
I really don't want to get hit by one of those things. I'm going to go into my bag and pull out like my little bedroll thing. I would like to scrounge craft an umbrella, please.
But it's lucky to get hit by one, apparently.
I mean, it'll burn right through a blanket, but I love this idea.
Also, would that make us really noticeable?
I mean, Fatima, the figure, the cloaked figure would actually come over and say, the safest place is mine.
Okay, look.
You will spend more time here making the thing than we are only a little while away.
Okay, fair point. Fair point.
It's a great idea. I just can't imagine a way that you could make one that would work. I will give you inspiration for the idea.
Thank you.
But I just don't think you could make it work in this situation.
That's fair.
If I put it in my bag, is it gonna burn the bag?
Is it your bag?
Yeah.
Then no.
Oh my god. Put it in my bag. I don't know what enchantment this thing has, but I'm gonna have to show peeps and get home.
Of course. Yeah, you are guided to a little dwelling place. From the outside, there is nothing to write home about it. A simple mud brick house with a partial second story covered by a billowing red and cream striped awning. The inside, however, is a bit different. Can you make me perception and or investigation checks, please? Whichever you prefer. 10, yes, not too bad. Benneck, is that a 13?
19.
19. Oh, yes, very good. And an 18 from Jude. Yeah, all right. Yes. Benneck and Jude, I mean, you all see that the walls have been painted with murals of places. But you two recognize them almost immediately. Jude, the one in the center of the main living area is a lovingly rendered image of the Alderheart, as seen from the northwest. Another, above an alcove with a stone table in it, Benneck, is the hot springs you had your... well, actually, you don't... In fact, sorry, I would switch it. Jude notices the hot springs that you had the spa day at. Benneck notices the Alderheart, because Benneck hasn't been to the hot springs. Yeah. Sitting at the table is the little steam method, Ibn. And the figure takes off her cloak and hangs it on a hook by the door. When she does so, you can see she is a bird of fire.
Oh,
she is a bird folk, but made of fire.
You are beautiful.
She nods and smiles slightly.
I would be caught off guard, but we are in the plane of on fire, so I think this is okay.
The plane of on fire.
She goes, "Please sit, humbles." And gestures to the table, and Ibn sort of scooches around on there's the bench, so you guys can come in, and Fatima says something in Ignan to her, and the being explains, and you hear the words Morwenchi. And Fatima says, "This is, as I imagine you have assumed, Ibn's mother. Her name is Morwenchi, and I believe she went to your plane." And Morwenchi nods. "I come back recent." She apparently, her knowledge of common is okay, but her ability to speak it isn't.
I can understand but can't speak back.
Yeah, yeah. I met and others, Arthur, Javier, and Eric. You know?
Do we know or just Cash?
Yeah.
Have we heard
You
of
only
them?
know Cash.
Okay.
Trish
Cool.
might know Arthur. Trish, you can roll a history check to determine whether or not you've interacted with Arthur before.
Let's find out.
No, I do not.
I know of Cash.
Cash and the others help us get home. We trapped on your plane,
Oh.
but
Yeah, we had
Oh.
that too.
Yeah, like that rock guy.
Yeah, we helped him get home too.
It was rough though. Did you have to die?
no.
How did you
Yeah,
get
she looks stunned and mother and says something to Fatima, and Fatima looks at you guys, and then sort of shakes her head and says something back, and she says, "I tell her you are very good at killing things."
Oh.
Yeah, we are, but
It was helpful.
Oh,
It was to get him back.
Oh, I see. To banish.
yeah.
And Mowenshi says, "Was it big?
Yeah.
Very big.
Then is probably home.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we were hoping with that.
She actually goes about making you guys drinks.
Ooh, what kind?
It's very hot beverage. But it's actually, you know what it is? It's like this thick, tarry, slightly viscous fluid. She pours very small amounts out of it into metal cups from a quite ornate little jug. And that she basically just holds for a moment, and then the steam starts to come out of the spout. It's like a small teapot, and she pours a little bit and puts it in front of you and says, "Drink slow."
It's like hot sake or something.
It's coffee,
Oh.
Oh,
I did
but
not
like
get
the way the Bedouin
sludgy,
make it.
yeah, sludgy coffee.
Yeah, very thick, very hot. I will allow your characters to decide whether or not they like the really heavy-duty coffee the Bedouin make.
Benneck for sure drinks blacks.
Yeah. Benneck doesn't mix. Doesn't have milk.
Jude lives off muffins, so
Yeah.
she probably hates it.
Probably. It is
It's
bitter.
not sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, Turkish coffee. Exactly.
I think Trish would be into it. She mostly likes the caffeine buzz, but she's into it.
adventurous. She likes different things, new things. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh gosh, Jude has not had caffeine before.
Oh,
we're gonna
This
be
is
high
quite a
smidgy
small
on
amount, but
coffee.
really quite a heavy amount.
This is concentrated caffeine.
Very concentrated.
Oh no.
During
Can
the
I
heist,
roll a
I'm so excited.
con save for this? Because I
I
feel
will
like
allow, and you can set the DC. I will not tell you. You can go for your life. You're a
Okay.
skilled enough player to determine your own choices on this one. I want nothing to do with it. So Morwenshi says,
Like,
but why? Yeah, Jude is bouncing off the fucking walls within 3 minutes.
okay,
Um,
cool.
I'm the opposite. I'm mellow.
Jude, but on caffeine. Okay, good
Oh,
question.
God.
Never mind. Leave it with me.
Okay. Yeah, Morwenshi says, so why you here? You banish us from your plane. You come here. Why? You know revenge?
Ugh.
Well,
You
Are
can insight
we-
this if you like, if her meaning wasn't clear.
I mean,
Sure.
Benneck would always insight. Just because he's an unwise boy and he's like, I
Oh.
wonder.
Four
Oh, the
fours.
triple fours.
Oh, and a 12. Jude, you are bouncing off the walls, but you infer that she's worried that you're here to start some shit.
No. We love fire. I mean, not the fire that was in the plane of, our plane, our home, because fire bad and fire lots of death. But fire here is good.
Wait,
A friend of ours is stuck here.
Oh, I see. You come to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Why they are here in City of Glass?
no.
Mm.
But
Yes. No.
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 Then
But,
why you here?
The short version is Benneck, do you wanna take this or should I summarize?
I'll take it. Short version is we're here to steal something because we got help getting here and we should probably pay it back or we'll die.
Yeah.
Yeah. The person who sent us here wants an item returned to them. So we're here to do that, and then we can rescue our friend.
Oh. Who has item?
Gaius.
Mm.
You here
It's
to
some
steal
kind of
from
horn.
Gaius.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From
Gaius
the castle.
is ruler here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good. Yeah. Good,
It's
good.
really good.
Yeah,
Drinks more coffee.
yes. This
Oh,
Gaius. She turns to Fatima, and Fatima says, they have a quick back and forth, and Fatima goes like, is it very much a shrug of, I tell them I do not think you are insane. She is worried.
Oh,
I understand.
wow.
Gaius is a very powerful being. What is it you wish to steal?
It's some kind of horn, I believe. Hmm.
And Morwen, she says, I can help.
Oh, really?
I work for Gaius.
Oh.
Amazing.
Most people here work for Gaius, but I am senior cook for him.
Oh.
Oh.
He is glad I am back. Give me promotion.
Oh, congratulations.
She's sort of like, it is what it is. It doesn't mean I get paid better.
Ah, well, what's the
Nice.
point then?
It's more
Does he
more
drink his-
responsibility. Like you don't have a lot of choice when a guy who runs part of the fire plane tells you what to do.
Does he drink this?
She doesn't say that. She just in sort of she gives you a look that's like, it's all right. I can get in, but you cannot be in. Looking. And she like gestures at you guys.
Right.
You not elemental or Munsha here.
Right.
But we look like Munsha here.
What
Your room is
this? And she points at. She looks at Trish and points at the your little medallion that's got the shard of the aspect of fire and ice in it. And she says, "What is? You should not even be able to breathe here. This why?
Yes, it's helping us survive on this plane.
I could make look like elemental
Really?
with this. I would change.
Is there a but to that?
Will we die?
No die. Just change.
Okay.
Okay.
Permanently?
She goes. She shakes her head and then turns to Fatima to explain. And Fatima says she would use her magic to change it so that it projects an image around you, makes you look like fire elemental. Apparently, it is something you could do once. It recharges once a day, and while you will it, you look and sound like fire elemental.
Oh.
You also speak like fire elemental.
Cool.
That would make getting around here a lot easier.
Yeah.
How long
Yes.
does it last?
Until you turn off.
What? Oh,
Until
the thing.
you
You
turn it
stop.
off.
I thought you meant sleep. Like, boop, you're off.
She actually chuckles at you, like more when she chuckles at you. And she boops you on the nose.
Whoa.
No off.
Can we look like any, or does it just have to be like an elemental, like on fire?
Elemental is best. I
Okay.
choose form. Like your plane. I like.
No.
Won't stay. Can't. So,
Oh.
make home. Make bird.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
She
I'll go
gestures
first, just
for
in case.
Benneck's thing. She gestures for Benneck's
Unclip
little
my
idol
totem.
thing. Yeah. She gets you to hold it in your hands, and then she clasps her hands around it, and closes her eyes, and sort of moves her head to your forehead so you can rest your foreheads against each other, and then your idol begins to glow, Benneck, and you the onlookers can all see Benneck slowly engulfed in flames. They don't appear to hurt him at all. It's more sort of an image of flames. And Benneck, this bonfire builds up around you. And Benneck, what if Benneck could choose to look like any creature or being or thing that was a fire elemental, and you've seen enough of them to know that they can look like whatever the heck they want, really. What would Benneck look like if he was a fire elemental? That is wanting to sneak into a palace of somebody.
I was gonna say that, like, I know of Ifrit, right? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's the first idea. Like, he would look like an Ifrit guard.
Sure. Yeah.
He like thinks about like arrogance and like knowing like their top shit.
Yeah. Benneck's form coalesces, and he is from the waist up a muscled humanoid, with hair that sort of blows. It's fire that blows in a non-existent breeze. However, his lower half his legs are flames. How's that, Benneck? Is that about?
Yeah, that's dope.
The red skin, and she blinks and says, "Oh."
He kind of like peeks, like, is it over?
And Benneck, she looks at you and says, Morwenshi says, "Wow, you are very attractive like this. An interesting choice for you."
He would blush, but his skin's already red.
What's interesting is Trish and Jude, you do not understand what she says.
Oh shit!
Sounds like crackling fire.
Oh. What does she mean
But
by
Fatima
that's an
laughs.
interesting choice for you? That seems that seems like a backhanded
A
compliment.
little bit
No.
shady.
Super shady.
You can insight what she means. What
I
you
don't
can't. You
understand
don't
that.
understand what she even said.
What does she mean
But-
by that?
Fatima chuckles though. Fatima thinks that was quite funny.
Four again. I'm very wise.
She's not coming on to you as far as you can tell, Benneck.
Great, cool.
Just an interesting choice that a birdfolk would look like an attractive elemental, a being that is a bit attractive to elementals.
I
Like
would
without
like-
knowing what an elemental would find attractive, he happened to nail it. And
would like to
Fatima,
nod.
yeah, Fatima
And
laughs.
then I practice my scowl, my Ifriti scowl, because I know they're like.
She turns to Trish and Jude and says, "Who next? Nevermore? No, thank you. I don't think I'll be doing that. I'm
Why?
fine the way I am."
Nevermore.
I flex
Yes,
my
Jude.
humanoid muscles.
Yes,
got
Benneck, give it a rest.
You've got Nevermore. You've got to.
All right, Jude. You first, though.
Okay, I want to look like the female version of Benneck.
Okay.
Really useful, to be honest.
So yeah, she gestures for your little totem amulet, Jude, and holds your hands around you, around it, and closes her eyes, puts her head against your forehead, and says, "Hold still."
Okay.
Think. And yeah, Jude, could you, knowing what you want to do, can you describe what Jude winds up looking like as the flames engulf Jude?
I think that Jude has no idea. So I think I look like literally what Benneck looks like, just with boobs.
Okay, you've added boobs.
Well, it's female, right? So like,
Sure, but no
Just
one in
like-
the Humblewood has
You-
boobs. Like, they're not a thing.
wasn't there a female humanoid that we have
Oh,
seen?
the flamingo. Professor
The flamingo is male.
Oh, well then,
Oh,
just longer
longer
flames.
hair.
Sure.
Has Jude never seen a female humanoid?
No.
Both
this
of the
person-
extra Palinar creatures you've met are, as in both of the
Nice.
extra Palinar mortals are both males.
What
Grail
about,
What
Noctua
about
and
the Ocean Queen?
yeah, the Ocean Queen had boobs.
Oh,
The Ocean Queen would have had tits.
Okay,
yeah.
so
She
it's
gave
the
me
ocean,
boob vibes.
It's the Ocean Queen, but female,
Love it.
But-
Yes,
but fire.
but fire, not water.
and the tail is flames.
Yes, Jude. It looks like
Ooh.
you've got your legs are now like a little fire whirlwind, and you are from the you're like a fire mermaid.
does she look like? Does she look like Charybdis though? Because maybe that's a
Yeah,
bad idea.
facially not unlike Charybdis.
Hmm.
Like a blurry photo.
Oh,
Like
never mind.
like a
Sure, it's fine.
not overly accurate photograph. Like a what's the word? Like a police description drawing. Like if somebody described Charybdis and then drew her, it would look like that.
Okay.
Similar,
Oh,
but
it's
not
flames.
exactly the same.
Are they like rocky people with flame, or is it like all flame?
You're going for Eferet, not Muncha here. So
Yeah,
because Muncha here are not elementals, and
Yeah.
you're trying to look like an elemental.
Easy.
You've both wound up going for Iferets, which aren't technically really elementals, but sure, this would work.
I don't
like-
know any elementals, so
you
I
look
just
more
followed
like
Benneck.
minor genies than elementals, but this sort of
Yep.
works.
I was just
Um,
like, well, what does Benneck know of Plane of Fires? Like, if Ifrits live there.
Yeah. And Trish, what does Trish look like?
Wow, so glad you asked. Knowing that we're going to be sneaking around, she wants to be small. She wants to be agile. She's a very small humanoid fire person, but with a shitload of hair, because the idea of not being fluffy is just unconscionable. Think 80s Starfire, if that
Amazing.
reference means anything to anyone, just a shitload of it.
Right.
Oh, damn. I'm
Amazing.
loving it.
So instead of a
um,
tail, it's like a tail on your head.
As
Pretty
well as
much.
a tail on your butt too. I imagine you still got a tail.
Oh.
I have no issue with this
Yes.
person having a tail. Yeah. Yeah, amazing. But actual legs as well.
Yes.
Cool, love it. So this one is more like the Pokemon Ponyta, like
Mhm.
how it trails
Yes, I do.
flames. That's how I'm imagining this. So it's a humanoid that just leaks fire as it moves. That sort of situation. That works.
That's
Yes.
Is
Absolutely.
there a mirror in the house?
Yeah. They're actually it's more like a sheet of burnished metal. But yeah, you could certainly get a decent look at your reflections. In fact, Nevermore would just silent image. And just do a silent copy of what you guys look like. Or Jude could. I think Jude has silent image.
I definitely check myself out, and everyone else too. I'm like,
So I do have some.
I'm experimenting with hair physics, just
The hair does not appear to have obey physics. But as soon as you do it, as soon as you become this fire creature, you can understand Morwenshi perfectly. And she says, "There, that is better. Now we can talk.
Wow.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you for the trust. And for freeing Fatima. I hate what they do to people here."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know people could be sold like swords? So weird.
Why do you think I was on your plane?
Yeah, right.
Did you get sold there?
Ah.
Many
sorry.
of those who went were not willing.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh.
What?
It is a sad thing about the relationship between your plane and ours. The being that led us there, elementals are complicated, but there is a hierarchy, and it is very hard to go against what someone more powerful than you wishes. In fact, it is impossible. So when the one that you defeated led us there, we had no choice but to follow.
Is it like inbuilt? That kind of
She ums and ahs. We are one with this plane. Elementals of all planes are really just extensions of the plane themselves, given form and thought. So when a bigger part of the plane tells a smaller part of the plane what to do, the smaller part does it. I am small, but quite powerful. I choose not to use this, but the one that led us there was much stronger. You killed it. I felt its death.
Yeah.
And I feel now, I did not know it was you that had done it, but the things you wear are parts of it. Only you could have been the ones to kill it then. This was you, yes?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Should people not know?
Don't tell people no. I did not want to go, but many of those who went were happy to.
Okay.
Do you like the drink?
Yeah.
To be honest, it's kind of nostalgic. It's been a while.
Well, if you are here to steal something from Gaius, a horn, you say, it will probably be in the top of his tower, where he keeps his treasured possessions.
Oh.
I cannot take you all the way up. I am not important enough to go very high, but I can get you past the guards at the door. After that, it is not like a structure in your home place. It is less linear. It is more an effort of will get you where you want to go.
Oh. Is there a princess in the tower? Like in all of these stories?
Jude, make a perception check, an insight check.
Okay.
They're gonna be like, yes, there are. They'll be like, no.
Insight. 12.
Jude, you notice just the slightest hesitation when she says, "No princesses, no."
Huh.
Like she chose the word, she said no princesses specifically. She chose her words with care.
Because in all of these storybooks, there's always a tower. There's always a princess there. And the knight, the warrior knight Gaspard is always the one to save them, you know?
I do not... Gaspard would not even come here. This would not be good for Gaspard.
Oh. Okay.
He does not live here, nor is he welcome here.
Oh.
Probably the fire thing.
Why is Gaspard not welcome?
He is mighty, but this is not his plane, nor the one he is from. Gaspard, and I'm not wanting to insult him at all, but on this plane, Gaius may be stronger than Gaspard.
What? No. No. That's
On your-
not possible.
On your plane, it is not possible. On the plane of life where Gaspard lives, again, it is not possible. But here, where Gaius rules, Gaspard would be a visitor. He is still mighty, he might, but Gaius is also mighty.
Oh, okay.
I say this to warn you. Do not fancy yourself a savior here. You have saved Fatima. Take that victory. You saved actually many when you slew. I say not his name. He is dead now, and that is the end of it. But when you slew him, you saved many lives, both in your plane and of the elementals as well. Many would have died had the war continued.
Wow.
Take that
Okay.
victory.
No saving princesses in the tower. Okay.
He has courtesans,
What?
wives.
Wives?
Some of
Like
them are his wives,
many?
yes. Yes,
More than one?
more than one.
Oh boy.
Why?
Some for alliances, some for pleasure,
Okay.
some just to show his power.
Are the wives happy with this arrangement?
You would have to ask each one of them in turn.
Probably depends on whether you're there for an
Fatima
alliance or
says,
something else.
Fatima would say, the wives would have to deal with him no more than once a year. He has so many.
What?
They live a life of great luxury. There is a price to it, but I have been in a similar situation. There are worse ways to live.
I'll take your word for it.
I feel sleepy now.
Did you drink it all in one go?
Yeah.
And didn't take.
Fatima says, eat the muffin. It will wake you up. We should do this now if you are doing it. And Morwenchi actually says, yes. This
But
is
before we go,
a job for another day, perhaps. If you feel you must, go, become stronger. Come back and save us all if you must. Today, you should save your friend, yes? One at a time.
speaking of, before I forget, because this seems like a big endeavor, and I understand I get overly focused on things and I might forget to tell you later. But I did overhear something in the market. I think it's where, from what you guys told me, I think it's where Helvig might be. There's a worm, like the Y, not like a worm, like a dragon, essentially.
Oh, this is another word for it, yes.
That's being oddly territorial, apparently, from its return from the material plane over a patch of land northeast
Northeast.
from the city.
We did not take worms with us. How did it get there? Well, worms can jump planes their own selves. Powerful ones can, anyway. I wonder why.
The other bit is this Gaius fellow wants to, shall we say, just go to that place because whatever a worm might be guarding is valuable.
Oh,
Hold
no.
up, Benneck, hold up. Wait a second. And Nevermore gets out his Flavor Flav compass clock and taps it and says, Helvig. And it spins and then points in a direction. And he says, I don't know, is that northeast? And Morwenshi says, yes, that is
Oh, good.
northeast. Is that your friend?
Yeah.
Oh, their
We
friend.
have to go get this horn soon and then go find Helvig fast.
I know the name Helvig.
You do?
I do. It was... I will not say his name. But the elemental that led us, this Helvig was the door.
Like an actual door.
The whole time?
It was his door. He then opened the rest.
Yeah, okay.
That one was possessed. He is dead, yes? You killed it.
Ah,
Apparently not.
Well, I wish you well with that. I will help you get your horn, but I cannot help you with your friend. Hopefully this will help you though. And she also performs the same operation on Nevermore. I know we haven't said, but she will, and Mitch can decide what Nevermore looks like next week. And she says, I have a request, Fatima. And perhaps one of you, if you are good at what you do. Ibn is new here, and I worry for him. Could one of you stay and care for him, look after him? And Nevermore says, I'm not very sneaky. You guys go. I'll look after Ibn. Shan't we?
This is like
We'll
the
play
X
chess.
all over again.
It's exactly like the pickaxe all over again.
Hang on, Nevermore. Was that a genuine moment of self-reflection and recognizing things you're not good at?
No.
Who are you?
Trish, I don't need this from
What have
you.
you done with Nevermore?
Yeah.
I'm clearly not
Yeah.
Nevermore. I am a fire elemental here to look after this sweet little steam elemental. We're going to play chess. You peasants go and play thievery or whatever it is you're good at.
Hey, Fatima, do you have whiskey here?
Fine. You stay here, Nevermore.
I am grateful that you do. I will take your friend's place. He is taking mine.
Okay. Did I see the guards when I overheard them? / were they like important guards or?
Yeah, they looked a bit fancier. They looked like more than just your average. Like you'd seen several. Like the city guard is a fairly numerous organization of exclusively Munsahir soldiers. They all wear armor of like plates of glass, that sort of glitter. But some of them have more. Like basically, you figure you could probably tell their importance by the fanciness of the hat. Like the guy at the gate, the only one of them had the shiny glass headdress. These two had significantly more shiny glass shards in their headdresses than that guy. Like they rattled when they move.
Is it possible, for the enchantment purposes, is it possible to change it after we've already like donned the disguise? Like, can I enter? Because we're being led by.
Are you wanting to
Fatima,
look
right?
like a Munsahir?
like on entry and then change into an Efreet guard when I'm inside?
Not really. It's a
Okay.
it's a once-off thing. Also,
That's okay. I already
and
look
she
like
would
an
say,
Efreet,
"I
and that's
cannot
cool.
make you look like a monster here. They are not elementals. That is what you can be looking like. This is as close as you can get, really."
That's fine. I was just curious whether I could like, because it might be weird for. I'll roll with it for a god to be like, I'm gonna go with the thing now,
This is the best I can do.
and it's great. It's much better than what we would have done. And frankly, I feel kind of confident. So
You look confident too.
thanks.
You
I have
do.
to really practice.
Mm. And yeah, both Fatima and Morwenchi are like, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Confident. Yeah.
Benneck just like, shoo.
Yeah, he does not notice.
I want to.
Trish notices.
I want to.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. Trish is like, yeah, I know, girls. I know.
19.
Yeah, Jude, you pick up some sort of juice going on here.
God.
Your juice
Also,
senses are
like-
tingling.
My
Let's
juice
have
sense is
Benneck.
tingling. Cool.
You have a juice radar now? Oh no, Jude.
Jude knows what sex is now.
Yeah, Jude is
knows
very.
more.
Jude is on it. Jude, did you eat the muffin?
I did.
Can you make me a con save, please?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Oh, actually, no, you don't need to, because you got the one on the one or the two. Yeah, Jude, you
What?
have fire resistance for the
Oh.
next hour.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
actual fire resistance.
Yeah, on top of the not fire resistance currently because of your thing. But yeah, for you it when you ate it, it sort of it's like drinking whiskey, like that warmth that spreads out from you. That's the way it felt to eat the muffin. It soothed you, it calmed you, and it sort of straightened you out, leveled you out. And Morwenchi says, "Yes, I think perhaps the coffee is too much for you.
What?
It is
Why?
very strong. Unleveled.
How? Jude has no recollection.
You
It's
were
like a
very
blur.
energetic before, and then you stopped. It is good to be not so high and low.
Oh, yeah, I got sleepy.
Yes,
Don't know why.
the coffee will do that.
Oh,
It first
coffee
makes you
me sleepy.
very awake, and then very asleep.
Oh.
It's why you have to pace yourself.
And I think we will have a quick break there. While now we're explaining how coffee works to Jude, stimulants. It's like Jude definitely knows how stimulants work. She eats a lot of sugar. It's just a different kind.
Jude eats consistent sugar, and Jude is a grazer. I do not think Jude understands highs and lows.
Right, okay, fair enough. Okay, in which case, yes, we will go for a short breaklet, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, Dag. It's good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. And we will be back in 5 to 10. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
We are back, everybody. Welcome back to the Humblewood, or actually to the Plane of Fire, where we currently are. We are in the city of Molten Glass with our adventurers, all three of them. Nevermore is babysitting a steam elemental, which is not something you get to say very often. While the other three are hanging out with Morwenchi. She is taking you to the capital, the tower in the center of the city of Molten Glass, the spire of Gaius the Ifrit, and you're gonna rob him. So
We're gonna rob him.
you're gonna rob
Na,
him.
na, 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 na. I've lost it.
I forgot to
I've
mention,
lost
but the two Green
Oh, no.
Lahab are also hanging out with Nevermore and Fatima and
Cool.
Eben. So Morwenchi leads you up to the palace. The nearer you get, the wider the streets become. The larger and more ornate the houses get. A couple of streets away from the tower, one house is made entirely of little glass beads. There is no walls or much in the way of grounds, though there are a couple of chasms, rifts in the ground through which you can glimpse lower levels, like the glass continues on down underneath. Think the Tower of Orthanc, Lord of the Rings style, when the goblins and the orcs are working there.
Yep.
That sort of thing going on. And yes, full of industry down there. And lava flows as well. Looking up from this close, you can see your earlier impression of a wind chime is actually more apt than ever. From beneath, many of the shards float free of the others and occasionally gently collide. And there are slim and only semi-visible walkways between them. While you can't see the whole thing, there doesn't seem to be any rooms, just loads of shards, just floating. At ground level, the tower is a half dozen shards of dark glass, which seem to erupt from the ground. Their sides are perfectly flat and unmarred. They don't have windows in, though their tops are different heights and look quite jagged. A lot of the shards of glass look like they just shattered off something. So the main entrance is a broad staircase up to a doorway which seems to have been made with a hammer. Like someone just knocked a hole in the glass. It is very much a shatter pattern in it. However, Morwenshi leads you around the circumference, about a third of the way around, to a smaller and more conventional door at the bottom of a flight of stairs, a small flight of stairs going down into the ground. A pair of Munsahir guards eye you as you enter, but make no comment. The disguises appear to be working. As she opens the door, a wave of heat and noise almost knocks you back. This is clearly the kitchens, and it is busy. It is a huge cavern, clearly easily 200 feet across. And you are all welcome to make a perception check or arcana check if it's better, while I describe it. Morwenshi gestures for you to follow her as she leads you deeper into the smoke and steam-filled cavern. She barks orders at some of the creatures there in a language now you understand. She's basically like, fill that, clean that up, do this, do that. Like just basic head chef orders sort of thing. And while occasionally other creatures issue her instructions that she sort of just waves off. Like, you're back, get back to work. And she goes, I'm busy, you do it. You emerge. So what did we get? Trish and Jude, both of you notice this room is itself larger than the tower was. Like it extends further than the tower did.
Wow.
It is underground, but the from what you could tell from the circumference, you haven't walked almost halfway around the tower, you can tell that this is bigger than the tower is. And you get to the far side and up a small flight of stairs to a glass doorway. All the doorways are glass, but everything else seems to be like you're in a dark, underground, rocky cavern with loads of fireplaces and steel benches, like metal bench tops. Like it's a combination of a cave, like a lava cave, and Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. That's sort of like it's some very hyper modern and not at all. Yeah, you reach the back of the room and pass through a door. Please make Arcana checks, anybody who wants to, as Morwenshi opens the door.
Rolling like shit. I hope this is okay.
12 is enough if no one else does it. Benneck, you notice that Morwenshi is concentrating very, very hard as she opens the door. And you emerge, presumably following Morwenshi, into the comparative cool of the open, some 200 foot above the ground. You are standing on a fragile little walkway, one of the ones you saw before, about 200 feet up, and shards of glass are orbiting you. Looking back behind you, one of the shards of glass has stopped. There is a doorway in it, made of glass, that looks into the kitchen caverns.
This place is weird.
She
the avian. God damn.
yeah. Ahead is another shard that is passing slowly by, and as you watch, a doorway seems to glimmer into existence in the light. It might have been there the whole time and the light just wasn't shining on it right for you to be able to see it, but it then does. What was probably a crime in the US? Jaywalking, yeah, what the hell? Awful. Monstrous. What the hell, Spinner? I haven't paid enough attention, evidently. She turns to you and says, I can go no further. I will help you leave, but I cannot go higher. Return to the kitchen caverns and I will get you out. Or you could, if you are going high, and you should be, jumping is an option if you can slow your fall. You, and she looks at Benneck and Jude, you are both magic. You can do this, maybe?
I can do it.
He can do.
We need to be together though, but I can do.
I am not allowed to go higher. I have risked much already. You must focus on where it is you wish to go as you open the door, then pass through each room to reach the next. Returning back the way you came will only bring you down, not up.
Okay.
Oh, so forward is up, always.
Not necessarily if you are wanting to go down, but you can only retrace your path by coming backwards. However, you cannot trace it all the way back. Explaining it is... I lack the words.
That's okay.
Even in my
Thank
tongue. I wish you well.
We'll figure it out.
I hope you find what it is you are looking for. Good luck. She turns and goes, and closes the door behind her, and the shard drifts away.
All right, friends. This place is clearly weird, so I think we need to establish now no splitting up, because we could just get lost.
What?
Yeah.
Right?
Why? What?
Well, we can cover more ground if we split up with my, 9 wisdom.
And we've both got the message spell, so if we split up and cover more ground, we can always communicate.
To
Guys.
be fair, I don't know how much 120 feet is between weird door dimensions, but I like the gusto.
Listen, friends. I am the expert criminal here, okay? When it comes to
yeah, okay.
nicking things,
Yes.
I know what's up.
Yeah,
So please
Acknowledge.
just trust me.
I do have an idea though.
What's that?
Well, you said this is a weird place, right?
Yes, it is.
So why don't we be weird?
If we can be weird without drawing attention or splitting up, sure.
Okay.
Dude, when
I
are you
just
ever
think-
not weird?
If we are also weird, maybe it will work.
Hold on. What kind of weird?
Like walking through doors backwards, like that kind of stuff.
Oh, maybe.
I
I
think we
don't
should
know
just.
if the dude that I'm disguising as would walk through doors backwards.
Oh right, yeah.
All right, here. Let's just. Everybody get a picture in our minds
Uh-huh.
of a trophy room that a rich douchebag might have, full of fancy stuff. That's what we're
Okay.
picturing. That's where we want to be.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
Trish,
Take my hands.
I'm gonna get you to make the first one because you're taking the lead here. Trish, can
Okay.
you make me a wisdom check, please?
Wisdom check.
Not
Good.
save, check.
I'm very bad
Not that it
at
matters, I
that.
don't think, for you.
Okay. Oh.
6. Fantastic.
Oh.
Great. So, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Can I Omi, I love Omi. Omi, can you roll me 1d12 in chat, please? You are vividly imagining, Trish, a trophy room belonging to a rich douchebag. as you enter the doorway. You open the door at the far end of the walkway.
Who specific, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No,
A cool-
12. Roll 12, not 4.
D12.
Omi's got some stress right now with their phone, so
Oh, right, okay.
let's not rip into them for
No,
rolling.
that's all right. That's okay. Yeah, a 2 on a 4 doesn't really do me any good, I'm afraid. I
Just
have
roll 2 more 4s and we'll add it together.
But then you can't get
An
a
8.
1.
An 8. There we go. Okay. So Trish, this works. Hang on, let me. As you enter through, yeah, you. Wait a second.
Suspicious.
The room is done up in. So you get to the end of this walkway. The shard is going past you. As you get there, you notice the shard is like glass thick. It is not a big, thick room. You open the door in it, and the room beyond is a room. It is done up in the style of a Roman bathhouse. The floor and walls are tiled in intricate mosaics of pleasant, though fire-related scenes. Like attractive elemental ladies feeding grapes to attractive elemental men, lying in recumbent poses. You enter, and as the door closes, there are several raised baths, 6 on each side, with a central passageway down the middle, and little pathways between them all. Each bath is probably big enough for 2 people to comfortably bathe in it. And there is more central passageway. The room is about 50 feet long all up. All the baths are filled with fire. Like, a lot of fire. Like, it's extremely fiery in here. It's very, very warm, almost to the point of unbearably hot, in fact. Can you please all make me con saves as you, I don't know, run?
Oh.
No, I calmly walk away.
Oh.
Yeah, there are no people. Important
2
to
9s
note.
and a 4.
A 4, a 9, and a 9. Yeah. You... this room is so hot, breathing is painful in here. And you sort of, I can only assume you dash through to the far end. You open the door, you get out, and panting, you all have a level of exhaustion, I'm afraid. That's very, very poor rolling.
How do we
I'm
mark
afraid.
that down?
You have disadvantage on all skill checks, and
You make like other resource on your to the right of your course section of the sheet. At the bottom of your like bonds, ideals, flaws, there's like a bunch of little boxes.
Yep.
You can just rename one as exhaustion and then just like count one, or just write it down. You might as well just write it down.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you come out here onto the second balcony. You're probably 100 feet up from where you were aiming, from where you started out. You're definitely higher. You looking down, you can see gently glittering in the light of the 3 suns, a lattice work of interconnected bridges, upon which you are standing. One of them, upon one of which you are standing. That's a better way to say it. English is hard. And you can see these shards orbiting each other. It's not so much orbiting though. Like some of them are passing through. It's just an agglomeration of shards of glass in a rough tower shape. That was unpleasant. Do you close the door behind you?
Yes.
Okay. The door and the glass shard drifts away. And there is another one coming at the far end.
All right, we're getting higher. That's a good sign. We just gotta keep going. Oh my god, we're so high up.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm here. I can make. It's fine. All right.
I grab Benneck's hand.
Yep. I just take it.
The walkway is about 2 feet wide, and it is semi-transparent.
Oh.
It's like
I am unfazed,
translucent.
but I understand your pain.
Okay, let's keep going.
I'm here.
Yeah.
All right, Trish.
Yep, it's fine. It's fine. I don't have
Your
wings. It's
face
fine.
has a weird look on it.
It's cool. I can't fight falling to my death, and that makes me uncomfortable. So let's just keep moving.
Fair. You move ahead. Who would like to make the next check?
Me.
Jude, you open the next door. I will say Jude leads the way across the bridgelet that you are on, and gets to the next door. Jude, make me a wisdom check, please.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you're now at disadvantage because of the level of exhaustion.
Oop. 7.
We're not doing so good.
Okay.
That is not much better than Trish.
Omi, no, I won't ask Omi again. Who else is in chat?
Mother Bunny.
Mother bunnies?
Mother of Bunnies. Yeah, Mother of Bunnies. Can you roll me 1d12 in chat, please? Oh, Shadow Silver's here. Either one of you. Whoever does it first. The other, I actually do need 2, so both are good. Yeah. 3.
Well, oh.
That's interesting. And an 11. Excellent.
That seems good.
That dictates the next 2 things. I just won't have to ask again. No, that's all cool. So, I should have actually just done 3 right from the beginning. Right. Well, it does depend on what you guys roll. But, so this room.
I was picturing a throne room.
Right. How can you describe said throne room to me?
Yeah, there is a big chair like in the water plane that we were in. And there is like tapestries, but they're made of fire.
Right. Okay. Yep. The room you enter, again, same deal. It's a pane of glass that you walk into. The room is, it's not big. It is, however, the walls are uncannily similar to what you imagine, Jude. There aren't any tapestries on the walls, but there is 2 pairs of bunk beds, both of which have flaming sheets on them. And at the foot of both sets of bunk beds is 2 large trunks. There is also a table with 2 chairs that look not dissimilar to the one you were thinking of, just a bit smaller. And in them are a pair of Munsehir guards who are playing dice. The room is 20 feet wide. There is a door on the far side, and they both turn to look at you as you enter.
Good day.
Hello. What are you doing here? Should you not be working somewhere?
We are. Of course we are.
We're just here to take your lunch orders for the kitchen. What are we feeling today, lads?
Finally. Trish, can you make me a deception check? That was good.
Thank you.
You are at disadvantage because of your, but I would allow you to use your inspiration to balance that shit out.
Oh, I'm using it. I mean, how do I use inspiration?
You just say that you did.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Oh, no. The 9. Yeah, all right. Yeah, he goes, You're new here? I have not seen you here before.
Yeah, just started.
Oh.
Very excited.
Why are there 3 of you for their lunch orders? Why are you 2 here?
Training.
Does it look like I'm here for them?
No. Why are you here?
Exactly, I'm just passing through. And I'm just gonna split the party up. Fuck you
Benneck.
guys. Doing it.
Benneck, roll me a persuasion check.
Really bad at this.
No.
Someone's gonna
We're
roll
not
above.
supposed to be together. We got found out. That's the way. I can't think of one. Shit.
Oh wow. Poor.
Oh man.
We were supposed to stay together.
Don't worry, he's not gonna let Benneck go.
I'm
Oh,
okay, apparently. I'm very bad. I'm sad for the 18. Anyway.
You're not even rolling at disadvantage. This would be the numbers you would be getting anyway. Like, none of the
I know.
disadvantage rolls have actually mattered yet.
Ow. I'm rolling really shit.
You're just all rolling really, really badly. And they say, you are not permitted to go past. I have not been told that you. Who are you? I will have.
Good, you passed the test.
Sorry?
You passed.
Yes,
Yeah,
good
and I
job.
just pull out my notebook and I write down some stuff.
When you're made of fire.
No, I'm in a free. I'm not actually made of fire.
Oh, okay. Yep.
My legs are fire though.
And okay, the other guard goes, what? What test?
I don't say anything else. I just keep writing. I look up and keep writing, and then look back down again.
Make me another persuasion check. I'll give you advantage on this because it's actually interesting the way you're playing this. Like, I'll make it an even Stevens. Like, not disadvantage.
Yeah, to roll. I haven't rolled above 10. Like,
It's gotta happen eventually, though, right?
God. It's the same. It's the same. It's 5. Anyway, I keep writing.
It says, if there had been some new head of guard, we would have heard, yes? Yes, of course we would have. And also, since when did they take lunch orders? Who are all of you? The truth this time. They get up. One of them pulls out a spear and says, I think you have some questions to answer. Perhaps you come downstairs and answer them.
I stab them.
I thought you might, Jude. Jude, make an
Okay.
attack roll, please.
Yeah.
I believe you're gonna murder.
We'll just tuck them into their fiery beds. It's fine.
Why?
12?
A 12. Yeah, the guard swings his stave and blocks your blow, Jude, and says, "Oh,
I go again.
I'm sure you do."
But this time I'd like to knock him out rather than, like, I'd like to. I missed with the first one, so I'm going to come back with the hilt and just try and knock.
Very well. You are aiming for non-lethal attacks. Get it. Got it.
Yeah. 25.
25 for how much damage?
12 plus slashing, is that correct? No, that's radiant.
You smited that?
I think you've got smite active.
Oh, I might have smite on both.
You have smite on, yeah.
Hold on, I'll just
What does
re-roll
it
the
say
damage.
without the smite?
Well, it's 2, 8. It's 8 without smite.
8.
Yeah, cool.
10. No, 8.
Yes, 2 plus 6. Dueling plus 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just right. So yeah, he takes that damage. He gets knocked in the head, but you haven't knocked him out. It is yeah. You clock him in the head and he staggers. And he says, "Sound the alarm. Roll initiative, please."
Uh-oh.
Oh God! Why am I so bad at crime?
20.
Not bad.
I'm
Ooh.
sorry, Trish. You're like expert crime, and I'm dragging you down.
Fine, it's fine.
It's worth noting that initiative is something that I believe exhaustion affects.
Oh yeah.
We have to roll twice.
Yes.
Poop.
21's good.
6.
6, an 8, and a 17, and a 10. Right. Trish, they got a 4.
Oh, hell yeah.
Plus 1. So they actually got a 5, which means you all get to go first. You got incredibly lucky. They rolled very low on the dice.
Good.
So Trish, you have you can make an attack or do something else if you like.
Look, we're fighting now. I'm gonna click my speedy boots, is what I'm gonna do.
You're
Wait,
in
no,
a
I'm not.
20-foot across room. I wouldn't bother.
I don't need that. I'm gonna hit with my sword. what
Your
I'm gonna do
sword?
first. Yep. Go on
Very
sword.
Who are you attacking?
Whichever one said sound the alarm.
The one that Jude smacked across the head.
Okay, well, I'm attacking him.
And
Shut
you
your
do the
mouth.
sneak attack.
Yes.
You
shut your
you,
mouth.
He's gotta be flanked.
How do you do this?
All right.
Were you seeking to kill or wound is the trick?
Listen, if he's wounded, he's still gonna tell people we're here. I'm going to kill.
Okay.
Oh my god.
He dies. How? In what manner do you kill this guy? He was like, something like.
Yeah, no, I'm going for the throat because he's
Gotta
talking
shut him up.
shit.
Gotta shut him up.
He's talking shit.
You do that. Yeah, what a dickhead. He's like trying to tell people that you're here. Like trying to do his actual job. Like that's his legitimate his job. What a dickhead. All right, you do that. He gargles as you place your knife, like you place your short sword in his throat. He there's a look of stunned surprise as you place your short sword between the plates in his glass armor, and yeah, he just sort of goes limp. It is. You'd still have other stuff if you want to do other stuff.
I'm gonna offhand fancy dagger his pal is what I'm gonna do.
His pal had started to move towards a rope pull, like that you would use to summon Jeeves in if you were a country nobleman in the UK. At 22, you don't get the sneak for this, but 5 piercing's pretty good. And you caught the guy in the shoulder and he staggers a little bit. It's Benneck's turn, I think.
8? Yes, because
Jude
Jude
got
got
6.
6. Okay. Yeah, I just lunged for that, going for rope dude and stab him.
You do that.
Uh
Come
oh.
on, Benneck.
So I'm like, maybe I should just cut the rope.
It's
Nah,
the first
that's
time in
okay.
campaign that Trish actually committed a crime in character. I mean, there has been several murders. Do we count that?
But we count
It's a grey area.
murder.
A 19 definitely
19?
hits. Yes.
9
you do
piercing
9
damage.
piercing. Holy shit.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
This would be with the dagger, so it's 9 of radiant.
4 plus 5. Yeah, perfect. Max damage. I'm going to flavor this that you slice one of his Achilles tendons because you're trying to
Ooh.
slow him down.
Ow.
And he staggers. Does that work for you?
Yes. Thank you, Josh. That works just fine for me.
He's still alive, but appears like not happy.
And then I get out of Jude's way. Like I
and
position
then
myself to
Jude.
not block anybody.
Finish
I'm
him.
going to kill him.
Jude, roll the hit.
21.
You hit. Jude, in what manner do you kill him? Your
I
dueling
want
damage alone is enough, so...
I want to go through the bedpost and pull him up against the post with the sword and just like try to behead him.
Holy
Oh,
shit,
good.
okay. He staggers because of what... so he's received a stab in the shoulder that sort of knocked him off balance. Then Benneck came in, sliced the guy's Achilles tendon, and he trips towards one of the beds, tries to catch himself on the post at the end of it, and then Jude just comes up from behind, puts the blade of the wood gifted to her by Bene Seridon herself against his throat, and then just pushes his head forwards, and just the head just sort of drops off onto the bed, and the body collapses to the side, bleeding quite
Oops.
badly. Oops, oops. You don't get to say oops from that. Oops, I killed somebody entirely on purpose. Oops.
I did. Oops.
Okay, guys, now
You
we
were so
really
lucky
have to
Kral
move
isn't here.
fast.
Do we put them in the bed quickly so they like are hidden by the
We
fire?
can't remove fire.
Trish, they're not fire. They are Muncher here. They are like molten guys. You've moved molten guys before.
Oh, but the sheets are
But the
fire.
sheets are fire.
Oh, the sheets are fire.
We're fire!
I'm fire
you look
resistant.
like fire.
Actually, fire.
I'm going to put them into the bed
The,
and
you
just like throw the blanket over them.
do
'cause
get quite badly hurt.
I'm still fire resistant from the muffin, right?
Resistance is not immunity. We've
I
said this
know.
any number of times.
I know this. Just saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know I
Um,
healed you for fuck
Dude,
tons
you
yesterday.
put the body on the
Last time.
on the lower bed, and then you try and cover it with the fire blanket, but it looks like it's just the fire blanket is really just fire,
Oh.
and
Oh.
it's just like he's being bonfired now.
Okay, I'll leave him. We go.
Okay, yeah, let's keep going.
I would, Trish, make an investigation check.
Yes.
Because you're the one with 2 brain cells to rub together in this group.
What the fuck?
Ouch.
13, yeah. Trish, you notice that the 2 chests at the bottom of the beds are quite large. The footlockers sort of situations.
Oh.
Trish.
Put the bodies in the chest.
Put the bodies in the chest. Put the bodies in the
body. All right, I open one of the chests. Is it empty? Is the room?
It's got some stuff in it, but it's like personal effects. You can see a picture of a guy with his family, and 2.
We're ignoring that.
2 adorable molten-faced children with chubby little cheeks and like little tusks.
I turn the picture over and face down.
And fold him neatly in.
Yes.
You do that.
Oh my god. And I'm just telling myself, look, he was a guard for this weird place. He can't have been that good a guy. It's fine. We gotta keep moving.
I'm just very stoic about this whole thing. What's happening now? Refolding people, right?
You perform the same. Maybe Benneck helps Jude put the other body in the other chest.
Yeah.
That one is blessedly devoid of personal effects of any sort of significant sentimental note.
No wonder, because we beheaded him then.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that one's a lot easier. Yeah. You fold him neatly and then place him inside the
I
chest.
put the head on top.
Why?
Because Jude is deeply.
Body.
Yes.
Oh, you meant like on top of the chest, not like.
the chest. Why would I do that? We get the bulk in first, and then you put the smaller bits on top of it. Then you close the trunk.
You see, this is a true story we wanted to tell.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh dear. All right. Well, yeah, you do that. You exit the room. Do you go through the door you came or the door you want to leave through?
The one we're going to.
Okay, you go through
Yeah,
the door.
not the door we came.
All right, you exit out onto another glass platform. You were probably 500 feet up this time. You're getting there. You're maybe nearly halfway. Nearly? No, not nearly. About a third of the way.
Oh, good. I think it's the top.
Yeah. Benneck, or who's going to have a go now?
I would like to say I'd like to have a go because I haven't gone, but I've rolled shit.
Yeah.
I'll have a go.
Be confident, Benneck. Be confident.
Yeah,
Benneck,
got it!
This guy's
Benneck, before
confident.
you roll, tell me what you're imagining.
Okay.
Be weird.
What he signed up for. Shanahouse. I have no guilt. I mean, that's fine.
No, I think he means you're causing us guilt.
Oh, am I?
Yep. Yep.
You're the ones who
Oh,
killed them.
am I? Oh, am I?
You're the ones who killed them. I don't. Jude, you're the one who graphically described how you wanted to decapitate the guy using a bed.
Yeah.
I'm imagining.
Easiest way to do it.
Trish, Benneck, what are you imagining?
I'm imagining just the horn. I imagine like this intricate horn and like water like around it.
Sure.
And like maybe it's in a glass case. And then I see myself just walking to it.
Very well. I like that. Make me a. I'll give you a straight roll, not advantage, but you'll get a straight, a flat, not disadvantage wisdom check, please.
Oh.
No, Benneck.
Yeah, 14.
14. Benneck.
Better than anything we've done.
Yeah, this invalidates the thing. Okay. Benneck. The walkway this door opens to is, as you exit out,
He imagines a persona, his 3D persona is just
Yeah.
like,
You are
You
now,
walk.
you walk into this room. As you are doing this, you feel the wind sort of start to buffet you, and the room beyond the pane of glass is sumptuously decorated in thick carpets, elegant silken wall hangings, and in the center, a fountain that splashes cool water into a marble pool. The room has a comforting, even welcoming feel, and around the circumference of it are 4 plinths. Upon each one is an item. Benneck, the one nearest the door, has the horn that you pictured in your mind on it. The one about the room is maybe 30 feet wide, and around the circumference, about 15 feet away from you, is a second plinth with a folded piece of paper on it. Make me a perception check, everybody. Above the plinths is a thin copper pipe. Oh, good. That piece of paper is your little piece of paper. Jude, you recognize across the room is a very familiar muffin on a plinth. Trish, oh, very good, yes. Trish, to the left hand side, the plinth on the left of the plinth with the horn on it has a little, how would I describe it? It is a small pocket knife, like a multi-tool with a mother of pearl handle. It has several blades and a couple of other more esoteric attachments. And yeah, the pipes, there are these thin, rigid copper pipes descending from the ceiling with nozzles on the end like a shower head, that sit above them. They all come down to the 4 objects on these plinths. Yeah, each one looks like it's the right height for the item in question. You are muted.
What's on the 4th one?
Benneck's piece of paper and the horn.
there's
Oh,
4,
that's
one
4.
for each of us, and the horn. Like the
I
people
want to.
here.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
I want to check my pockets to see if I still have my knife.
It is not there.
I would check my bag.
I will also check my bag.
The god muffin is missing, as is the piece of paper.
No.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Not the god muffin.
Not the god muffin.
All right. First I check for any magical bullshit in the room.
Arcana. Unless you
Or
use a
mainly
spell
like
to do
alarm me bits.
so. Sure. Arcana or investigation. Arcana. Yeah, Benneck, you can tell at a certain trigger, magical flames will spew from those nozzles.
Okay, I say that to the party. Fire out of those things. I'm not sure what the trigger is, but probably when it takes something. If I can hazard a guess.
What if we pour the water, the liquid from the lamp onto the horn whilst we steal the others back?
How close are the plinths? Like, could someone grab 2 things at once, conceivably,
They're about
or
15 feet apart.
I can do the lamp. You guys can go get your things.
Benneck?
It's fine.
Trish, you can make an investigation check if you like.
Yes, I would like
I
to.
mean, Jude can as well, but Trish is like it's sort of Trish's bag. Trish, it's not hard to tell. The plinths are weighted. So if one thing is removed or disappeared or not there anymore, the others will set the fire off. First thing to disappear will set all the fires off.
Oh, okay.
We might be able to do it at the same time.
Benneck,
3 at least.
from the width of the nozzles and your Arcana check, if you try to take more than one thing simultaneously, you can tell you will be engulfed in the fires. As will any item.
Benneck, you know more about magic than I do.
Yeah.
How fast do these magic traps trigger? Like, do we have a few seconds? Because these items aren't very big.
It's design. How much do I have, DM?
Benneck, you would guess instantaneously.
I just shake my head at Trish.
There has to be a way. There has to be.
Could we, if I were to touch an object without taking it off, would that set off the trap?
You're welcome to try.
Do I think it's a spell that's going to be cast?
The fire itself is magical, but not a spell. It is a. You're on the plane of fire. Everything's fire. I suppose if you're trying to determine if you could dispel it or counter it, the answer would be no.
I have an idea that might be stupid.
Is it weird?
It's pretty weird.
See you, Thermior.
Okay, what's the idea?
I'm thinking we need to get all 4 off at once and get the hell out of here. Because I don't know about you guys, but that knife is important to me and I don't want to leave without it. Especially not for some stupid horn for some rich lady. If I can get some thread or something, and I'm looking at my clothes pretty tatty, thinking I could extract some thread. I want to try tying a bit of thread around each, long enough that I could have the ends in my hand, pull all 4 off at once, and get the fuck out of here. Is that an insane plan? Like, bad insane, or is it good insane?
How much fire will pour down? Because the whole room could go up in fire, right?
Yeah.
Benneck and Jude, who haven't made investigation checks, can make investigation checks. Oof. Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at investigation.
That's okay. No. All right. Benneck, you, because the 18, before you're combining your knowledge of the magic and the... you can tell that lifting one off will not set off the fire. Taking more than one off will set off the fire. And the room will be bathed in it.
I'll say that. Pretty sure that's how that enchantment works. So yes, it's a pretty crazy idea.
What if I swap out a muffin of the same size? Because I have so many muffins.
I mean, are you confident you can do that?
No. Not at the risk of your things.
Mine's just a piece of paper. It's fine.
Benneck, stop it. It would not be on the podium if it was not valuable to you. I have a god muffin. You have a piece of paper? You're telling me it's not important?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we owe somebody here. And he goes to stare at the piece of paper.
Indiana Littlefoot.
If only we had to just leave one behind, I'd memory is what's important. They can't take that from me, can they?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's not like it matters anyway. You can't get yours, Penny. Or we'll be all on fire. They just stomp around the room, cursing.
What if we... No. I was going to say, what if we destroy the copper thingies?
I yell out, "What do you want?" To nothing.
Benneck, I'm gonna play with this that you look up when you
Yeah.
do that, and you see the arched ceiling. It is a high dome ceiling. It is latticed with, it's glass, but it's latticed with metal spars. No, sorry, not metal spars. Brickwork that has been mosaicked, and written in it is something. It's not ignorant. But you are the only person who is likely to be able to decipher it. It is written in Orin. Make me an Arcana check. Ooh.
14.
Benneck, the gist of what it says is show me what you value most.
I am fine with leaving the muffin. I do not have a question for Gaspard, and Gaspard is a good god. He would maybe give me another muffin. Helvig is more important.
Does it go away when I look up after I read it?
The words shimmer and move like the glyphs of the fire runes. It seems to still be there. Like the meaning is imbued in the tiles, even if the word itself is not spelt there anymore.
Benneck?
Benneck, actually, a new word appears. The word prove.
Fuck this place, fuck everything about it. Look at Trish and Jude. Are these guys still standing at the door?
Where are you standing, Jude? Trish?
Oh, I walked in a little further to look at the things, I think.
I feel like Trish has done a full circuit of the room, is trying to find anything.
Yeah, definitely.
We should leave. I try and take one of their hands.
Why?
I feel like if I say it, I glance up at the ruins that don't like they keep moving, that's what I mean. I feel like if I say it, it ruins it. Runes are fucked. You don't have to trust me. I get that. especially when we're yeah. Those are things. You guys aren't.
Who has
I do.
the-
It's in my backpack, I think.
Leave.
Bennick, I will. If you think the best thing to do is leave, then I will. But we promised to get the horn. How will we get back? Either way, we're going to get hurt or die. Wait. I take out the little lamp.
Mhm.
It's filled with liquid, right?
Yes.
When liquid that would transport things to
Yeah. What if we pour liquid into each of our hands and we put it on the objects at the same time? We send all of them back to the shark queen.
Well, Benneck, you would be able to tell two things would happen there. Firstly, as soon as you poured liquid into your hands, you disappear back to the shark. And even if you didn't, second thing would happen is that all the things would disappear back to the shark, but you would be in a room that was on fire.
yeah, I say that.
Oh,
Good try though.
if only we could turn it into like a hose. If you want to go, Bennick, we will go. Well, I will go. Trish?
I wish it could have just been something locked in a safe. Why is it always got to be weird?
Yeah, no, I get that. I fully understand that.
You know more about magic than I do, so whatever you think we should do, I trust you, Bennick.
It's weighted, right? Like I couldn't take a bite of the god muffin and ask Gaspard for help for it.
Yeah, probably not.
What if I lick it? Do you think that would count?
Can I ask Benneck, what is your intention?
In his mind, to prove what is more important to him. None of these. Not his word, not his promise to the Charybdis, not his past, not my friends' past. We're not friends anymore. Like they said, this family, this very alive family that's more important to him than anything in this room. And if he takes them out of here, if that's what you want me to show you what I think is most important, it's them.
I would. Can you intelligence check, please, Benneck? Benneck, you catch a glimpse of yourself reflected in the side of the lamp, and you see a sneering, superior, arrogant genie. And you remember that he doesn't care about anybody else. He cares about his things. What's more important to you? What is the best defense mechanism about to protect something that he values is if you want it, you have to trade something that you value. The option here is to take the thing, but lose the 3 things you value.
Fuck this place.
What?
I fall to the ground.
Benneck.
Sit. I point up at the ruins. I know you can't read them. Look at we said we're communicating. I should do that. It wants us to prove what's important to us. And I look at my Ifriti reflection. This kind of scumbag probably want a trade. They're selfish like that. Wants to give up something important. And I point at the horn.
I don't.
And I don't. There you go.
I know that you guys care about what is on your podium. But I don't mind. I would feel sad asking both of you to give up yours, though.
It's not even a choice. We have no way of getting home if we don't give this stupid, selfish woman her horn back. I don't want to lose that knife. But I don't want to be trapped here forever.
I can only imagine that Gaius guy is sitting on his throne watching all of this happen, making a real fun out of all of it.
Like a show?
Like a show. Now, I don't know how true that is, but I can just feel it.
Well, then let's stop giving him one. We'll take the horn, leave this place, and follow Morwenchi's advice.
All right.
DM, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The wand of web that I have.
Yes.
Does it work like Spider-Man? Can I pull the web back to me?
No.
Fudge.
You fire webs out of it. And that would also be exactly what what Trish suggested earlier.
Yeah.
And yours is the furthest from it, from the door.
I don't need mine.
Yeah, they're all actually more than 20 feet away from the door, and no more than they're all about the same distance from the door. But Jude's would be the furthest, but not by much.
Here's the thing, and this might be hurtful. I would rather that my muffin go up in flame than have it belong to this genie man. I'm happy to take the lamp, but I would also want to burn everything else.
Take the lamp first would be my advice.
No, yeah, that's what
See what happens after you take the lamp.
What do you think?
No, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Anarchy.
Yeah. Anarchy or whatever.
What does Trish say? Fuck the system.
Somebody has to stay here and do that.
Well, we could take the lamp, and then I could throw a javelin at my muffin.
Are we all, I can't let you do that, but first we're all sorted with the whole lamp situation, the horn, the bullshit. Can we just do that right away before we...
You do that, yeah? Who does it?
I'll go.
Okay. Jude, you pour some of the contents of the lamp on the horn. The horn gives a very melodious toot. Sounds a little like a foghorn from a distance, and disappears. And you can hear a rumbling in the ceiling as the copper pipes start to shake. What do you do?
I step back in case it's fire that's coming.
Trish, do you leave the room or?
Yeah, friends, I think we should leave now.
As you exit the room is bathed in fire.
Oh, good.
Make me investigation checks, all of you, please.
I snatch one glance of my paper.
Benneck, you see your paper crisping in the flames. Trish, yours melts. The blade just melts. And Jude, your muffin blackens and crumbles to dust.
I'm
Trish,
too internally consumed by grief.
the pocket you usually keep your... I imagine you have like a dedicated pocket or possibly a little pouch on your belt. You, in your grief, instinctively reach and discover that it's there. The knife is there in your belt pouch.
Oh, I take it out and open it. I still have it. Guys, check for yours. I still have my knife.
Jude, your god muffin is in your bag. Benneck, your piece of paper, whatever it is in your bag. And I think we'll leave it there.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, what the fuck? Oh.
Just mind games on your favorite possession. I guess that would stop.
Or his magic wasn't strong enough to take something of yours. It was only strong enough to make you believe that he had. Well, I would like to thank everybody for watching and playing. I would like to congratulate my 3 players for navigating, I firmly believe, one of my finest traps ever.
It was pretty good.
I'd like to thank the Deck of Many for what I'm sure you can agree was amazing work writing the source book. Thanks, Serum and Mitch. And it's very sad that they both cannot be here today. Hearts and chat for Serum and Mitch. Thank Breepie, our wonderful artist. They always do incredible work, and it is on screen right now. Breepie. I should be doing that. Boop. You can check out more of their stuff at Breepie at twitter.com/Breepie. You need to check out our amazing sponsors, Wooten Forge, makers of WA's finest wooden tabletop accessories. Makers of WA's finest wooden stuff. It is support from people like them that allows us to bring you this kind of content. We have a discount code for them at the moment, so head on over to woodenforge.com and use promo code HUMBLE2 at checkout for some amazing stuff. I'm going to show you some of their amazing stuff. Here you go. Check this shit out. If I make that go away, hang on, there it is, that there, and then I cut there. There you go. Check that out. That is one of their new dice rollers with an adventure box.
Adventurous chest and dice tray combo.
Adventurous chest in it, and the adventurous chest fits perfectly in the dice tray, and you can get them as a Christmas sort of deal at the moment. You can get them both together, and it's pretty sexy. So yeah, head on over to woodenforge.com, use code HUMBLE2 for some amazing discounts and some cool Christmas gear. Order now and you might get it before Christmas. I mean, you probably will. They're very good. Now, as always, I think it's time for some favorite moments, guys. Yeah. Who wants to go first with your favorite moments from the session?
I blanked out. I think my favorite Jude moment was the coffee and unintentionally making myself high through all of my excessive head nodding. I genuinely got dizzy and started having like loose hallucinogenic moments, and I was like, I should stop nodding now because this is too much.
Yeah, probably should.
Yeah. So that's my favorite moment. Overcommitment.
Yeah. There you go.
My favorite Jude moment is stealing the muffin before anything else. Just like, I'm just gonna steal the muffin. Like, oh.
I liked you beheading that fucking guard. You didn't have to go that gruesome,
Wow.
but it was fucking beautiful.
Thanks.
I adore Jude's continued like, I'm not a murderer. No, I hate being called a murderer, but she's brutal.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
favorite was the
Style.
yeah. My favorite was the miscommunication about putting the head on the box. That was fun.
That was
for me.
my bad.
But I really liked. I'm gonna go with my favorite Jude moment was the description of your fire form. I was like, you boobs? What? You've never seen boobs except for that one time on that one lady, and us working out how you could look like that. And yeah, the end result was really, really cool. It was a good idea. I really enjoyed that, AJ. Yeah, cool. All right. Who else wants to go? Rachel, tell me your favorite self moment.
I liked being afraid of heights. I didn't know that was going to happen. That snuck up on me, but it was fun to do.
Yeah, that was very good. Yeah.
I loved Trish's poignant silence in that last. I think Rachel only spoke maybe 3 words in the last half an hour, and it was so true to form, and it was beautiful.
It was, yeah. That would have probably been mine, to be honest. So I'll think of a different one. Dan, do you have a different one?
I have a different one. My favorite Trish moment is the like, I'm the expert, the crime person here. Listen to me. I was like, fair. What if we split up though?
No!
I really loved you noping that plan, and then Benneck trying to do it anyway. I think, yeah, I really enjoyed your silence, and that was so gorgeous face acting there. But I will also say we're new. We're here to take the lunch orders. Yeah. It was such a great idea. I really wish you'd roll higher. Because it was like that would have been a totally valid thing. And we're like, oh, cool, they're doing that now. Excellent, wicked. All right, yeah, nice. Yeah, definitely solid rage moment there. Dan,
Thank
favorite
you.
self moment.
I'll say something that is probably like not obvious to the audience or the cast, but favorite self moment there was the realization when I was like, I'm in a free, so I'm not associated with the lunch lady, and decided to split up. When immediately beforehand, I was like, I'm here, Trish, for you. I'm here. You're afraid of heights. I have feather fall. It's okay. As long as I'm here, you're okay. And then I was like, nope.
2 minutes later.
My favorite Benneck.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My favorite Benneck was there was a very subtle little mention about how your last friends, you're the people in the picture, whoever the fuck they are dead now. Or they're not here or something. I wasn't completely certain. I'm gonna have to rewatch to find it. I was like, oh good, yes, very good, yes. All of my yes there. Yeah, loved that.
Yeah. The implication I thought was that they were dead because he said that these ones are alive.
Yeah.
Mm.
I loved that you chose your friends. You had this, I think the biggest Benneck realization that you are part of this family thus far was choosing them over the things. And trying to convince them to walk out of the room with you was powerful.
Yeah, all the stuff at the end was beautiful, but it's already been said, so I'm gonna call out a moment from way earlier. When you were trying to protect Fatima by keeping her in the dark, I thought that was really nice. Like, you don't know this lady, but you don't want her to get in trouble, and it was really sweet.
I'll go on another one because I have another one about Dan, and it hinges off that. The saying yes to being slapped. She was trying to figure out a way. It was just like, oh, maybe if one of you was okay with me, like we could plan the scene out a little bit and make it look a bit more convincing. She's totally new to this. She's been a slave her whole life. She's just like trying to figure out the way to do this. And you're like, yeah, you could slap me, I guess. Why not? Yeah.
If it makes it, if she's more comfortable with doing this plan, then yeah, sure. What's one slap?
Omi, favorite Trish. Look, I'm the biggest criminal here. Favorite DM moments, Mother of Bunnies. I have no favorite DM moments. You get no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Favorite Dan, the devastation, thinking he was going to lose his personal item. Shanahos, yeah, stealing because everyone was busy. Dropping all mine now due to typing on phone. Yeah. Mother of Bunnies, Trish just casually asking for the lunch order. Shanahos putting him in the bed with fire resistance. Favorite the murder guilt. Favorite DM moment. Favorite party, random murder and body stash. Shadow Silver, yeah, your D12. I'm afraid your 11 on your D12 didn't affect because they managed to succeed their wisdom check the next time around. Like it would have dictated which room they went into had they fucked up the wisdom check another time.
Can we know? Can we know what the 11 was, or can?
I'm saving it for another time.
Okay.
It was the 11 was. I'll tell you. It was an arboretum. It was an indoor, like a garden. It was like a greenhouse, and one of you would have gotten bewitched by. It would have been a wisdom. The lowest. I would have had a wisdom check. I would have gotten you to roll your highest, your lowest mental stat check, and you would have gotten bewitched by one of the scents and drawn into functionally a Venus flytrap. The others had to save you from. Yeah, that's what that was.
Dodge that bullet.
There you go. So Shadow Silver, that's what that would have done. Favorite Jude moment? I would rather my muffin go up in flames than rather than he have it. Yeah, I quite like that. That was cool. Shanahouse being a handsome elemental and not knowing it was awesome.
I was like, Benneck, you're such an unwise boy.
Yeah.
But I also kind of like that. I don't know, he got like a confidence boost being the like Ifrit.
Yeah.
He's like, I feel really cool.
Yeah. You can do it once a day now.
He might just start doing that
Yeah,
shit, be like,
Ifrit.
sup? And be like, what the fuck?
There might be limitations on it when you get back to the plane of to your plane, but where you are, you can turn it on at the beginning of the day and it just lasts. It won't go while you're asleep. You have to be awake. But other
That's
than
fair.
that, it's the only limitation I'm putting on it currently. Favorite DM moments, I guess? Why not?
I actually have
Yes.
a favorite Nevermore moment, which does happen to be a DM moment. Staying behind to babysit the Steam method, conveniently, like so much so matching up personality wise to Nevermore throwing away his pickaxe. Like it was brilliantly done. That we could all role play off it without an
Give
issue.
him
It was
shit
great.
for it, yes.
Yeah.
And audience, Mitch did give us permission to give Nevermore shit last week.
He did.
It's
Yes.
true. He did. Or I was thinking of making him do nice stuff. Well,
He's babysitting. Technically, that's nice.
I suppose.
Technically, that's nice. I like
Sort of.
that.
I don't think he's doing a good job.
He's really just protecting. Fatima's doing the caring, let's be honest. Anybody else?
We're in the favorite DM moments.
No, you have no right to emotionally manipulate people like that. Bad TM.
Swat stories with paper.
I'll mention the glass, the like falling glass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the weird like cultural thing with it being like it's being squishy, and then it's like we don't know much about it yet, but like the whole it's good luck, and it was like I just got hit. with-
All I could think of was an Orby.
oh yeah,
That's all I could
Yep.
think of.
it's like
It's
teardrop
like a
shape,
clear
right?
Orby.
No, it's it's like a marble shape.
It's a
Oh.
marble,
perfectly
but
round.
it's squishy, so it's an Orby.
Dope. I was imagining teardrop the whole time, and I was like, cool. It's just, I thought it was really
Mother
cool. And
Bunnies is furious with me about this. Karen, you married him.
Oh, sorry.
I know, the madness. Yeah, but that was 7 years ago. She made me like this.
Wow. The
Oh.
blame.
We've been
Oh.
together for over a decade.
this is the lore that's
Very
coming
little
out.
of who I am. I've been playing.
He's lucky he has a cute butt. Wow.
Wow.
I did read that it's cut butt, and I was
yeah.
like, nice.
I do not have a cut butt. I have a cute butt. I do not have a cut butt.
Important
Storytelling.
distinction.
The
Very
final puzzle was brilliant, but also filling in the Nevermore and fletching it into the story. Thank you. You might later.
You might
Can
I have-
confirm cute butt. Dang.
later.
My favorite me moment, of course, was my final puzzle. I was pretty happy with the final puzzle, unless Dan wanted that to be his favorite moment.
No, I said the
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The
The Orby.
Yeah.
the
I
Obi city
like
of
that.
molten
That was
Obi.
very much a sort of a. I did plan it, but it wasn't. I was just like, oh yeah, I could do that. Well, after the fact, when I wrote the scene, I was just like, oh, I actually put that in the scene. That's a neat idea. But yeah, my favorite. I really liked that. It was like, what a perfect way to protect something you value, by making people, whoever wants to steal it, sacrifice the thing they value most to steal it from you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Almost bulletproof, perfect solution. The only people who are going to steal it are people who need it. And he genuinely doesn't really care about it. He stole it to piss Charybdis off.
I loved it, and I was fascinated that Jude didn't care about the muffin.
I was like, Jude was like, maybe he'll give me another one. I don't care. I was just like,
Yeah, it was less of like I don't care. It was more like, I don't need this. Like, I've met Gaspard. This isn't super valuable to me because I don't have a question ready.
Yeah.
Which I found fascinating. I didn't know that about Jude. I thought she would have like cried or something, but
Yeah.
I was also surprised.
I'm going to use that trap, then wait to give their gear back. Absolutely. I considered that they'd have to come and steal it back after the fact, but it wouldn't be in the room anymore, or that they wouldn't get it back immediately. Or they wouldn't instantly find it. They'd find it about themselves at a much later date. But it was a good narrative ending for them to find it there and then. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the neat trap. Of course, it was your mom.
I have two favorite moments for the DM because lots of good shit happened this week. Number one, having more Wenchy prefer the Humblewood was so interesting to me. Like, it really added so much personality to her character. Like, she's not just a generic fire lady. She would rather live in the Humblewood, and that's so fascinating. I really like that detail. And I also liked the possibly improvised detail of the fucking family photo in the chest. That was hilarious.
Totally.
Fucking great.
That was me giving you subtle shit for killing these guys.
I know it was. It was
Not
good.
Josh, oops, it's fine. It was accidente.
Please take this K emoji and use it to its fullest potential. Awesome, Ra. Well done. I'm impressed. That's very good.
We passed the time.
Yeah. I can do if you like, Omi. Now that it's happened, yeah, sure. I'll pop the notes on it into the Discords. Yeah, cool. Alrighty. Well, we should go away from here now because everybody's flattered me and everybody else. I also was surprised at how good my Nevermore impression is.
Yeah, that was. I know that we had to pick one, but that
was quite good.
Very. I was like, oh my god! It's like he's here. It's like he's here mocking us.
But I could never replace Nevermore Mitch. I could Nevermore replace Mitch. And hopefully we shall have him back next week, and our hearts' love go out to him. Guys, yeah, we will go away from here now. We need to find someone to raid. Hey, let's find somebody to raid. And while I'm finding somebody to raid, we've got several options.
Somebody to
Don't
raid.
you need somebody to raid? We've got Sensei Suplex. Eldritch Scribe is still streaming. We'll see. Right. So, guys, tell me who the heck you are. First of all, let's do that. And we'll go the other way around. Rachel, tell me who the heck you are.
Hello, my name is Rachel Foucar. I'm a writer, actor, and creative trash at large. You can find me on various social media at Rachel Foucar, and you can find the book that I wrote, The Rings of Mars, right here on this very internet. It's a sci-fi book, so if that's your jam, you should check it out. And if you live in Perth, you should also check out the Fringe show I'm going to be in next year. It's called The B-Plot Girls, and you can buy tickets on the Fringe World website right now, if you fancy.
And it was on last year, and this is season 2 of it, so it was so good that they had to do another one. That should tell you a lot about it. All right, Dan, who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Dan. I am D-Rab on Twitch chat and on other social media places. That's just basically Discord, because that's where you can find me, because otherwise I am nowhere. I lurk and support my friends. So it's these guys. You should go check them out in all of their creative endeavors. And aside from that, if you'd like me just trauma-induced roleplay, you can find me on here, Humblewood, every Monday night during Western Standard Time, and I'm also in a one-shot this coming Wednesday, playing an aristocratic fairy. Yeah, come check that out. It's so exciting. And the Wednesday after that, on Courses Cove for Avatar stuff.
Avatar. Dead set. Yes, we have many things coming up on the channel and over on Corsair's Cove as well. TSA will be back on Saturday, and Eden's Apple will be back on, I believe, either Thursday evening or Friday morning, depending on where you are in the world. And there's something a bit fancy coming up in the works for December. One Shot Wednesdays are back in force. Dan will be One Shot Wednesdaying over here with Shrogril, Nikolai Kravchenko, and the Doom Donkey, with a brand new DM to the channel, Jack, who is a professional DM from over east. Exciting stuff there. And then in 2 weeks' time, we will have the conclusion of the Nocturne Nights film noir style two-shot that was supposed to be a one-shot but is now a two-shot, with Hardway Jones and AJ Winters and the Mother of Bunnies and Nikolai Kravchenko in the DM seat. And who was the other person in that one? Tristan McInnes, T-Mac. Absolutely. Yeah, you can also check out the Avatar game alternating Wednesday, starting next Wednesday over on Corsair's Cove, and my alternate Humblewood game, where Morwenshi made her first appearance and cashes on over there with the guys Nikolai again, and Brandon Ellis, and Josh Towns. Absolutely. AJ, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm AJ Winters. I am a DM, player, and all-round creative being from Perth, WA. You can find me over on Winter's Tales, where I make world-building videos every week. That I'm building a world in one step at a time to host and DM a game next year, and it's very exciting. It's already in production. And to thank everyone for getting over 200 subscribers on my YouTube channel in the first couple of months, I'm hosting a little Twitch event on my Twitch channel on the 28th of November in 2 weeks. I know it's Thanksgiving for people, Thanksgiving weekend for people, so they just stop by if you can. Basically, it's going to be a little peek behind the scenes, so come hang out. That will be great. I also have a Fringe show, so more deets on that soon. Josh, what's that called? What's my Fringe show called?
AJ's Box is coming again, I believe. Is that the one?
That is true. AJ's Box coming again, coming to you in February.
And I am Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on Monday nights on Roll for Damage, where I DM the Humblewood. But you did. Good job. Well done. Keep doing it. If you like my face and voice, you can find me in Paparotica at Fringe World. Paparotica 7 Heavenly Sins will be coming back to Fringe World starting on the 14th of January. If you like more of the majestic voice, but you think I could stand to tone the face down a bit, check out my podcast, There Be Dragons. It's a 5e D&D podcast in a fantasy gunpowder setting where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Sken Felspar and his little dragon Crush. So, guys, AJ's Fringe Show is there, and Paparotica is there if you're wanting to check out the links to it there. I am also producing another show at Fringe World beyond AJ's Box and Paparotica, because I am an insane person. So we should go and raid somebody now. Do we need to put any other links up in chat? I don't believe so. I will, however, put the Wooten Forge up again, because you guys should check out wootenforge.com. Use code HUMBLE2 at the checkout for awesome discounts, and generally tell them where you came from, because we love the Wooten Forge guys. So we're going to go raid now. Who shall we raid? We've got a few here. Eldritch Scribe. They'd normally chuck us some love. Looks like they're still playing, so let's chuck the Eldritch Scribe some love. Favorite raid emotes up in chat, everybody, and we will start the raid. Meow. We will go and raid them, and we will see you hopefully back here on Monday night, same bat time, same bat channel, next week for more Humble Weird. Yeah, thanks very much, guys. See you next week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.